Very good.
First of all, I really need some laundry.
A, C, A, B. All cops are bastards. Stay together, stay tight. We do this. Yeah, we got KD. And James Harden. I swear he's on the Nets now. I could be wrong. A, C, A, B. All cops are bastards. Quit your job. Stop beating your wife. We keep us safe. The 72nd precinct. I don't know where that is, but it's not the 84th. It's not the one right here. We had a march that started here, and these fucking cops followed us. We stepped off the sidewalk right here. They followed us all the way a couple blocks around. We didn't do shit. Yeah, we don't have weapons. We nothing. They arrested like 2 photographers right in front of me, and like 5 other people, like 4 other people maybe. Some bullshit. Yeah. Take care. Home alone. What up? Peace. Thanks, organizers. Thanks, mods. Around chat. Oh yeah, I was talking to Alex Chaser, the guy that streams on YouTube, and anyone in the woke crew, if you're trying to mod on YouTube, Alex was telling me that he's got a bunch of fucking chuds in his chat room that need regulating. So I don't know how to contact him. I'll try to figure it out. But I told him to join the woke Discord and all that. But yeah, homie needs some mod control. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that we didn't even really get to fucking march. Really, like they were fucking behind us the entire time, really awkwardly. Don't really know what to say about that. I mean, and they obviously like arrested a bunch of people, I just said. I'll flip the camera because I think people are leaving, smoking and stuff. I'm thinking about getting something to drink. I am not representing the Hydrate gang, but I should be. Yeah, I mean, Brooklyn comes hard. Like this year, 2021, Brooklyn's been on the map. I think that's like three bangers, at least 2.5. Because I mean, they had a small ass crowd the other day, like when this all started from Barclays, and they took the bridge, like they took the Brooklyn Bridge with like a tiny little march. So you know, even less people, they still were really effective in disruption. You know, it's like that's the goal. Spread the message. I mean, I'm glad like that fucking dude in the car didn't run anyone over. Like he was about to clip me, but yeah, could have been bad. But I'm glad I stepped up instead of seeing someone else get fucking ran over though. Could not live with that. Survivor's guilt. They pushed SRG back. Yeah, I mean it seems like they might have arrested some bikers too or something. Cause I saw the cops like pushing people's bikes around. So maybe that's what happened to like the bike line. They got all arrested. It's fucked up. There's actually like some food options out here too. Shake Shack. There's always like a line outside Shake Shack. Is it really that good? I mean, I guess burgers are good, right?
LRAD, they tell people get on the sidewalk or you'll be subject to arrest, and then they pretty much start grabbing people and arresting in attempts to break up the protest. Caterpillar eyebrows matter, they sure do. Alright, protest is over. People are gonna head out from here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to everyone for being here. Shout out to Jeff Mack, whoever the hell he is, for being an entrepreneur genius and restreaming this shit. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'll be streaming every day.
Don't touch the bike! Don't touch it! You realize how many bikes are in the street here in Brooklyn?
Watch out for swine flu! Watch out for the swine flu!
Well, yeah, especially when he's and that's what drew my attention to it quickly.
Did you also happen to see the opposite?
It should be on here. Yeah, if you mention it around with a number of the NLG that's been around, they'll know exactly who I am and to get a hold of me quickly. So, no problem. Okay, guys, I'm gonna make sure they're overreaching on this because they are pissed off, and that's my best guesstimate on it. And again, there's no reason for NYPD to be mixing into the march itself unless they're trying to incite an incident. Okay, you've got the group of police cars right in back, up front. Bike cops are most likely on the next street over.
This is the New York City Police Department. Unlawfully obstructing pedestrians.
No, they're not.
No justice! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! No racist!
This is the New York City Police Department. You are all already walking in the roadway. I implore you to go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you. If you remain in the roadway and refuse to use the available sidewalk, you will be subject to arrest.
The other cop needs to be filming that motherfucker! Hey, needs to be careful! Bike's gonna put up in front of you!
Okay.
You don't do that! I'm not done! Put your hands on him! Let Remy go, Delgado! Move it! Move it! Keep it moving! Let's go, guys! Move it! Keep it moving! Get caught up arguing with That's it, let's go! They not gonna stop nothing! Let's go! Let's go, they not stopping nothing!
So from what I'm saying, Taru is filming people specifically targeting, which they're not legally allowed to do. But they're new, so they figure they can get away with it. Anyone who's been with Taru long enough knows that there'll be a quick lawsuit coming out on that. They keep doing it. It's the one thing. I film more of Taru with what they're doing a lot of times.
I got more balls than you. Fucking bitch. Bitch. Nothing without that flag.
And it's been a long time since I focused in on Taru and what they're filming and shouldn't be filming.
Keep moving, everybody! Do not stop! Ramon! Look at him running. You're too slow, little bitch. With that heavy ass book bag, shove that shit up your fucking ass.
So take your head and shove it up his ass. What that sneaker, nigga? You look like the sneaker body, mailbox body. Fuck is you talking about? Helmet, hat body. Fuck out here. Ice cube body.
Nobody talk these bitches.
Together, protect each other, keep each other safe. Stay together.
As you can see, the light is walk, so
One of your officers pull out a gun because they asked you to put your fucking mask on. I did not see. That's what he thought.
and the white shirt commander is with SRG, which is one of the reasons why he's utilizing the heavy-handed tactics that he's using. Again, anyone who lives in Brooklyn, Manhattan, or any of the other boroughs knows that bikes are always in the streets. That's the son of a bitch.
This
No,
is the New York City
don't even
Police
start
Department.
that.
You are all lawfully walking in the roadway. I am ordering you to go back sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges
telling
will
him
be
to
placed
keep saying
against you. If you remain in the roadway and refuse to use the available sidewalk, you will be subject to arrest. This is the New York City Police Department. You are unlawfully walking in the roadway. I am ordering you to go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you. If you remain in the roadway and refuse to use
Okay, guys, I'm gonna try and get a wider view because it's a little more complicated to keep an eye on what they're doing. Which is main focus.
We are the people.
I mean, the change in tactics are always the same. And that's how you know when NYPD is in a pissed off mood. Okay. Come on, guys. Let's go. As you can see, they're walking with the light also on the sidewalk and crossing at the light. Okay. The excessive slowness for no reason is really counterproductive. Okay. Okay. There was a reason for the... Okay. interrupting their own ability to know what's going on. Okay, guys, I gotta get up front. Excuse me. Excuse me. Well, it's nice to film the march, but it's also about keeping an eye on what the cops are doing. And they keep slowing each other up, where at certain points you can't see what the cops are getting ready to do ahead of time. Okay, so what I'm looking at is I need to get a wider view. These are, really don't. These are all the unmarked vehicles coming down. Really? And they just sped up, not because of me, but to try and get ahead of the march. But I wanted to get a better idea. HBX 4204. Another. As you know, I like to get an overall view. And sometimes being in the middle of the march, you can't see what the police are doing because of people bunching up. And in order to make it possible for people to continue on with their march, you also need to keep an eye on what NYPD is doing, which they're doing a phenomenal job at keeping an eye on them, but I just see certain things that others sometimes don't see. So the march, maybe about 40 or 50 people maximum. And this is the high police presence they have out here for that. 30 bike cops, all the unmarked vehicles. How you doing? How's him? Feel free to take a screenshot, guys. Remember his face. And everyone down here. So they have all of this for about 30 or 40 people marching. Are they really that incapable, the NYPD in Brooklyn? I'd say it's about a 4-to-1 ratio. Marchers versus police. Actually, probably a 5 or 6-to-1. At least a 5 to 6-to-1. What? Come on. GMR 1616. Gamma Mike Reno 1616. So each one of these guys that do belongs to. Come on. Okay, you get stopped. Okay, this is the intersection where last week the officer was standing there with his gun drawn out in front of him. This is where that incident happened last week, where he had his gun out right in front of him. So let's see if any of these officers decides to bring their guns out like the other cop did, right at this intersection.
Refuse to use the available sidewalk. You will be subject to arrest. This is the New York City Police Department. You are unlawfully walking in the roadway. I am ordering you to go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed
You see there's a
against
cross that
you.
says
If
the
you remain
cross.
in the roadway and refuse to
Oh, okay, well, I'll just go around, no problem.
subject to arrest. This is the New York City Police Department. You are unlawfully walking in the roadway. I am ordering you to go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. You guys. Go. Go, go, go. Excuse me. Come on. Okay. Come on, guys. Excuse me.
Everybody keep moving, keep moving. Hey, what are you doing?
They have to light the cross. Right there. Excuse me. Excuse me. No, go ahead. Go, 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 go. He has to write the cross because the light signal does say you can cross, and legal is here, so they know it's legally for the it's legal. Legal doesn't have the authority to do it.
He isn't doing shit. He was standing right next to me. What the fuck did he do?
He didn't do anything.
He is right here next to me.
What's the reason? What's the reason? What the fuck is the reason? Reason, right? What's the reason? What's the reason?
Why is he being taken? Why is he being taken? What is the issue, sir? How can somebody be on the sidewalk? I was right here. He was.
What's the reason?
What's the issue? Why is he being arrested? He was on the sidewalk.
I'm not moving out,
He was on
so
the
not
sidewalk.
even.
What is the issue, sir? Can you explain what the
This officer here keeps stepping on the sidewalk, so he's trying to get into other individuals' space as it stands.
What is the issue? Why?
Okay, left side or right side?
Let's go, move forward, move forward.
So where he stepped right off, right there, it's a car. There's no way he's obstructing pedestrian traffic in any way, shape, or form. And he is acting as a photojournalist. It's going to get thrown out of court. I know that. Legal knows that. Legal is going to figure out the charges once they get down, and that's from past experience. They don't need to have a charge now. They figure that out once they get to the station, what they think will stick. Hey, ho, 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 guys. Chill the fuck out. Not everyone stepping off the sidewalk is part of the group. Some people are just crossing. Learn the difference. Film the protest, but don't focus on any faces. You should have learned that that's illegal. And trust me, I know my shit on that. Okay, so these are, so right now I figure there's a 6-to-1. So for a group of about 45 people, there's a 6-to-1 or 7-to-1 ratio, cops to those that are out here. So they're basically in the process of instigating any situation to make arrests, even though their officers drew his gun on this group last week, where there's been no accountability. Okay, here are the bike cops coming up. And I think the bike cops are sticking alone, especially after the shit that happened earlier this year with the aggression, which is the reason why they don't have the black on any longer. I know for a fact that from people who've told me that there were serious conversations about that in terms of image-wise. One of these days, I'll go over everything that I'm actually aware of, that even a lot of the cops here have no idea about. Now remember, last week, an officer out of the precinct right down the street drew his gun on a group of about 40 people marching. There was no reason for that. He was looking, but there's also been no accountability regarding that as well. And those of you in 1PP that are watching, because I know you guys always do, especially on my stuff, why can't you make it possible for them to actually hold that officer accountable and then make that public? That's one of the issues that's always coming up, is that there is no accountability on that. So, bike cops are on the sidewalk. Only thing I can say is at least they're not going into the group, which was the issue. One of the biggest issues. So, 30 bike cops from the initial count. Not to mention the massive number of officers that are also around. So, my estimate of about 6-to-1 is good.
Hey. Fucking nice.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's gonna get worse.
I hope not, but
I hope not either, but
I'm pretty sure that the white shirt that's in charge out of SRG, he's looking to. And I did mention on here, because I know 1PP, they watch, or in other people in the city, like, there's been no accountability for that officer that drew his gun last week on our march. I mean, yeah. Ooh. No, there's never going to be any accountability. Even though I know that there are those who are saying they're trying to change things from the inside, off the record, they know it's not going to happen. Certain things are too ingrained in NYPD and other. Okay, at this street, there's no potential for pedestrian traffic to be obstructed here. So, what do you got? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So figure on average about 300 officers for about 45 people. 300 for 45. Jesus. Now, I'll be fair. Part of the large number of officers are SRG coming out of Manhattan. So, so now there's massive numbers down here. They're actually going around the block, which means they're going to come down to that end most likely. Either that. So people aren't on the sidewalk. And this isn't stressing. I mean, in reality, when I get to Washington, that's going to be stressful. I will be there on the 19th and the 20th in DC covering stuff. I might make a stop off in Virginia. It just depends on how things go, but
Let's go, let's go.
okay, and as always, any contacts you have with, any elected officials that you think should be keeping an eye on this situation, definitely message them. I'm not necessarily saying call them. Send them a message and let them know this is something they might want to keep an eye on.
Everybody has their cameras on! Everybody, bitch! Look at you! Record them! That's crazy! Look at it!
Talking about everyone in the background.
Yeah. And you get camera, bitch! You get camera! I'm gonna shut the one! You ain't got fucked up! I'm gonna shut the one! You sure got fucked up, bitch!
So basically with all of these, they're going to be surrounding the group of about 40 to 45 people. They're going to be about 300 officers plus surrounding that group of 40. That's going to look nice in the media, which means that they're going to have tons of phone calls tomorrow. People in 1PP asking why didn't they pull officers back. That's normally how it goes. Legal's going to have accountability because he's actually not authorized to make an arrest. He has to hand it over to someone else so that they make the arrest. But he won't tell you that. Go. Come on, guys. Cross light. And not blocking pedestrian traffic.
Not yet.
So I'm going to revise my 300 number to probably about 400. So actually probably about 400 to 500 officers within the area. Conservative 350, but 400 to 500. Are there not any other crimes going on in Brooklyn for these officers to be covering? So, yeah, any of those that have the influence, please maybe give them a call and ask them to call Commander on the ground and ask why there's so many people for about 45 people that are marching, maybe 50. And if it happens, I'll know because usually I start seeing the phones ringing all over the place, so I'd appreciate it. And I would say Tish James, but she's busy right now with the lawsuit that they're filing right now. So let's just chalk this up. It would have been simple if they'd addressed the issue of the officer drawing his gun, but they'd rather do this than address an officer that's a danger to people on the street. And like I said, optics-wise, this is going to play nice in the media once it starts going around. And people in Brooklyn, other places are going to be like, why the fuck do you have so many police but such a small group? And then when it comes time for funding and the hearings going before the city council about needing money for this, money for that, they're going to say, if you have these many officers for 40 people, then you're not worried about crime other places in Brooklyn or Manhattan. And I actually figured SRG would be dealing with the white supremacists that are planning their actions on the 17th, as opposed to this. But, hey, it's not a priority.
Excuse me. I know you hear me. Can you please put on your mask? Please?
They are asking him nicely, I'll say that. I mean, the other officers have it over their noses. That I'll give them credit for, actually. Not every sound is something violent.
Put your mask on.
Nobody walking here would be blocking pedestrian traffic unless they're going out that way, but the light's actually counting down so people could cross. But right here, because this isn't a throughway street, they wouldn't be blocking anything. So if anyone gets arrested here for blocking pedestrian traffic, it'll be a trumped up charge that'll get thrown out, you know. But again, they don't care about that. They're trying to make an inconvenience for people. And they don't realize that that doesn't work. It hasn't worked. And I'll say, just dealing with the last 10 years, it doesn't work. It really doesn't. It just means the next time there's a massive mobilization, it becomes even worse. They basically accelerated. Remember I used to tell you, NYPD created Occupy. It made it go viral because of all the shit they pulled. And they're doing the same thing. They did it 2015 when the original Black Lives Matter protest kicked off. They always do it. They do not learn.
I finally pulled up his mask just a little bit. Oh, it's falling down again.
And I know it falls on deaf ears, but conversation I was having with some downtown the other day, I specifically say this stuff hoping that it sinks into their brain and that they actually learn from it. Some have. And that's why I have conversations with them off the record. Others, they don't. He must have lost some weight because he had to pull up his belt on his pants. He's calling the guy to come across. He wants an excuse to go ahead and do something. He's just in one of those moods. Be interesting to get Delgado kicked up. You know, you guys, if you file enough complaints against Delgado, he will get transferred out of here. Because the more aggressive and violent he is, and the more complaints they build up on his record, they will shift him out of here. So there is a way to get rid of him. And he'll be acting like that in some in some small town in upstate New York. You know, probably trying to kettle chickens or something. As you can see, Black Lives Matter. Remember that Martin Luther King Day, MLK, is coming up. And those who've known me long enough know that I had an opportunity to meet him when he attended Mount Calvary Baptist Church. That was actually a week before he was assassinated. And actually a neighbor of mine was supposed to possibly go with him when they left Newark, New Jersey. He didn't go, fortunately. But it's one of those moments that stuck with me. And for this type of stuff to be happening with MLK just around the corner, it shows you that nothing's changed. He looks over and then looks away because they have to look and then pretend like they're not looking. But that's okay. They're doing what they think they need to do. Wrong, right. But yeah, part of the stuff I'm going to refocus again, forgetting about legal, is Taru, because I think some of the new ones are breaking some of their own regulations in the way that they're filming, even though it'll be overlooked. So when they get back to the station, she'll take out the SD card, put it in there, it'll get downloaded to a drive, and then head out. Well, this is the presence right here. And again, just so those who had looked last week, this was also the location because the officer that had his gun drawn on a peaceful march that was going along is out of the precinct here, which is the reason why the march ended up here. And there's still been no accountability. Even if it was an internal accountability, there was no external accountability to the people he drew the gun on. That's a big difference. No other officer along that march had their gun out. He was the only one. If there was a major threat, then the other officers would have had their guns out. They didn't. There needs to be accountability, and there needs to be accountability to the public.
Hey, are you the guest for Jonathan?
Yep.
So, legal's moving over, Taru's moving over.
Are you going to be on for the whole show?
They turned me for the second segment, from 7:50 to 8:30.
He has the right to cross.
Yeah, I don't mind.
The light was actually there where he could cross.
Ultimately, if you do all on the whole time, that means you'll be on the camera will be
Ain't
viewing
no
you
cross.
the whole time.
I know.
You won't actually be on air. But ultimately, otherwise, it's better for you to come
So
on.
again, this is how small the group is.
You can read just the screen at that time. But other than that, just know that until that green light, you won't be on screen.
So maybe 50 people at most? Do they really need 400, 500 officers? Oh, 400 officers out here for 50 people? Really? And it looks like they're fucking with cop watch over there, which is not a good thing. Now we're gonna see when the lights change if that guy still starts doing this. Because if he doesn't allow people to cross, then he's the one obstructing pedestrian traffic. He's preventing people from walking when they're legally able to do it. Nope, let him through.
Nice shirt.
Dude! Nope.
You gonna be the evil villain today?
Go, 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 go.
I'm just playing the foreign
If you saw the officer did push him,
I thought you were gonna put the evil villain, you gonna put the dog on your lap and pet him the whole time and shit like that.
it's
I'm
not
just
gonna
playing
help.
with you. I'm a comedian.
You a traitor.
Not just a comedian.
You a traitor ass motherfucker.
There's nothing anyone's going to do in terms of de-arresting on this. I already know
You
that.
already subscribed to the channel?
So the guy's saying it's like there's nothing they're going to do. That's not possible. First thing about tactics is, you know, in a situation like that, considering the distance, it isn't going to happen. To go over there will break up the group,
You can do Twitch or
which
Facebook.
basically allows the police to actually break you into more than one group. Never allow that to happen. Now you've got a group over there. No one's going to be able to do anything about the arrest while you have others here. If the NYPD wanted to do something, they have two vulnerable groups. It's like there's something about numbers and strength. See? It's on cue.
We all know you guys use your paycheck for Pornhub Premium because...
And I hate to say it, but... And I don't like the fact that the person was actually encouraging people to immediately do that. There were a group of people over there,
Stop letting them split us out!
but to break up the group that large is just not good. If you get that advice from someone, unless you're actually capable of de-arresting them, the person doing that, there are issues going on.
If you're all that trying, they're killing! Let's go!
Again, I'm not part of organizing. If it was something I had organized again in the old days, it wouldn't be happening like this. They're basically... Okay, so all the bike cops are over there. NLG is there.
Yo, if I catch Chang out here again, y'all better take that motherfucker home. You a traitor. You a traitor. You a traitor.
Again, never allow them to break your group apart. Unity, solidarity is the key. Especially in a situation like this.
Traitor. I fucked your daughter. Just nice. You a traitor.
So, my best guesstimate is there's going to be another arrest over there.
This is the New York City Police Department. You are unlawfully in the roadway and obstructing vehicular traffic. You are ordered to leave the roadway.
And what the fuck are you guys doing? You guys are in the road too with your fat ass bitches. What the fuck are
No
you
charges
guys
will be
doing?
placed against you. If you remain in the roadway and refuse to
If
utilize
we
the
have to follow
sidewalk,
the law,
you
you
will
guys
be
have
placed
to
under
follow the
arrest
law.
and charged with disorderly conduct.
You a traitor.
This is the New York City Police Department. You are
You're a traitor.
unlawfully in the roadway and obstructing vehicular traffic.
Excuse me.
Utilize the available sidewalk. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you.
There is a crossing light right now.
Look at you. You fascist bitch.
This is the New York City Police Department.
Fuck out of here, Captain. You bitch ass nigga. Push your first.
Regalo, you fucking dirty. Sucio. Regalo's a dirty cop. Cabrón.
Okay, there may have been a second arrest, but I know that first arrest, the officer actually pushed, and now there's a second instigation on this side. That's why. Again, I'm stressing this over and over so that you guys have to not allow them to separate your group. Arrests are utilized as a way to break the group up, and when you have someone telling you to run over when there's nothing your group is going to be able to do, don't do it. It only takes a couple of people to de-arrest when things are going down. So that's it. The person they arrested is still there, but you had all those people actually running over for that where they shouldn't have at that point. You only needed maybe about 5 people to make sure everything was okay. Again, unless you're going to de-arrest someone, and that only works when you're in a crowd where you can pull them back into the crowd and let them get away that way. Okay, guys, now I need you to contact Tish James, Jamani Williams, any city council people. Let them know this shit's going sideways now.
Everybody record that. Everybody record that. Get that crowd.
This is where it started off, right here.
So
I'm just gonna put it in and leave the legend and pull on it.
Walking in the roadway. I am ordering you to go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you. If you remain in the roadway and refuse to
No
use the
one's in the
available
roadway.
sidewalk, you will be subject to arrest. This is the New York City Police Department. You are unlawfully walking in the roadway. I am ordering you to go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you. If you remain in the roadway
This
and
is
refuse to
happening
use
in
the
Brooklyn.
available
We're
sidewalk,
at
you will be
Tillery
subject to arrest.
I got a lot of background there.
This is the New York City
and
Police
Gold
Department.
Street.
You are unlawfully walking in the roadway. I am ordering you to go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily,
How you doing, good? You gonna wake the show?
this is the New York City Police Department. You are unlawfully walking in the roadway. I am ordering you to go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you. If you remain in the roadway and refuse to use the available sidewalk, you will be subject to arrest.
Situation like this is when everyone should regroup. Delgado's the officer on charge on the scene right now. He may reference somewhat legal, but it's Delgado with SRG.
So you want it by yourself right now?
You guys cause harm.
yeah.
You guys cause harm.
Copy
You
that.
don't help anyone. What the fuck have you done?
So I've seen 3 incidences where the officers actually instigated. The first one was that first attempted arrest where Delgado or one of the other senior officers actually pushed another officer into someone and then tried to arrest them. The incident out here, the officer actually pushed the person, shoved him. And it's documented.
What's the problem? Give me 1 second to read the screen from one person.
Fuck you. Fuck you. All you guys do is cause harm and misery to your community.
So basically, each one of the situations were incited by actions that were taken, and I know it's coming from further up, Delgado and others. Legal is basically going to side no matter what. This is the same pattern that happened over the summer into the fall, and then there was blowback against SRG because of all of that. And it's picking up again, which I think there needs to be more than just the lawsuits going on at this point. Okay, what is everyone, excuse me.
Because that's all he's worth.
We're going to go off video. We got the protest up, so we're already live. We can switch to where you can be good.
Yeah, everyone usually, we need to come in at 5 after.
I can play the commercial. That little video.
That will also work, and then you can
Oh, also, I know NLG's on the ground, but anyone that's friends with Susan with NLG, definitely message her. Let her know about the stream. Also, let her know that I'll make sure that they get the footage.
got 17 Twitch. 11
Muka still
Facebook,
needed in court.
You know, you may just want to kind of slide in. You know,
Because it specifically shows that, at least in 3 instances, that the officers were the one being aggressive and that actually forced the situation.
Before they have a chance to change the channel.
Right. I don't know if I'm crazy.
All right.
He's laughing over there and he doesn't realize at least 6 cases were thrown out because of it being documented. And that's just on my side.
Everybody, we are moving out. We are moving out. These fucking officers do not allow us the same rights as they do us in weapons.
Rule 1, document. Don't let yourself get caught up in the elements of it. Then you end up missing most of the stuff that's happening. And also watch those in charge, because it's not these guys always, the ones in charge and how they interact, which is key to determining what their actions are going to be ahead of time.
Stand up!
Yeah, you can.
Stand up! Antifa! Antifa! 不要！不要搞乱的！
Either one, like I said, they're here. What's going on behind the scenes.
Okay, it's nice that there are numbers on here, but if someone's already reached out, if someone isn't from Jumaane Williams' office on here, which I'm assuming there already is, but if not, definitely reach out to them just so that they're aware of the situation. And de Blasio, because he's definitely owes my people a lot. I just want to see how he ends up spinning this whole thing. So basically a group up here. The commanders are across the street. These officers down here are actually waiting to move out.
Stop, come down from behind, stop, come down from behind, pull his phones out, pull his phones out.
What if you take it out? You can hear them and see them in the fucking
This space is on the sidewalk, which is a safe space, not in the street.
take this so serious. We're gonna have to wait.
So the group was on the sidewalk. There was no reason for all of this.
Everybody, they are looking to make arrests. They are looking to make arrests on the eve that their friends are planning to invade capitals. That's why they're so eager to arrest us.
No retreat! No retreat! They can tell a revolutionary that we never said a revolution. Fucking fuck them up with those missiles. Fuck you.
Your uniform only protects you, not you see.
Okay, they're talking about obstructing the roadway again.
Subject to arrest.
And the thing is, no one is in the roadway.
Police department. You are unlawfully walking the roadway. I know. Go back on the sidewalk now. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you. If you remain in the roadway and refuse to use the arrest, subject to arrest.
Okay, guys, no one is in the roadway. Everyone is on the sidewalks, and they have the roadway blocked. So the only ones blocking the roadway are actually the NYPD. So the two directly in front are NYPD legal, the ones on site. So just so you guys know.
People, you being arrested!
Sean just walked in. Make
Channel isn't just protest. If you were mad about that, then have a change of pace. Get mad about our opinions. So basically, the basis of our show is that we like to break down politics and make it engaging and fun and funny for people who may not be into it that much. Or if you already know about politics, then you might enjoy a little bit of discussion. With me is my co-host Sean Connor. How we doing today, Sean?
I'm chilling, man. For the people that's not into politics, don't worry. The people that are into politics aren't going to beat you up this show.
That's right. A lot of people who beat people up over political issues don't know much about politics at all. You look at so it's funny that I was just thinking about.
I got a funny story to tell you that happened to me today.
So it looks like Sean was in a brawl with a Biden supporter. Let's hear this story.
No. So it was so I'm in the I stay in the downtown Los Angeles area. In a hostel, so it's a shared living space, and there's an area where the people have to go outside to smoke. So I'm outside smoking. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm watching Joe Budden, not Joe Biden, Joe Budden, okay, from Jersey, and a brown man. I don't know what exactly his nationality or ethnicity was, but he was a brown man. He asked me, "Hey man, are you into politics?" And I casually just go, "No." And he goes, "Well, can I tell you an idea I got? I just got to get it off." I was like, "Wait a minute, huh?" I said, "No, I'm not into politics." He was just like, "Well, you're getting my political views today." And he told me about Jeffrey Epstein. And I was like,
wow.
You don't know anything I don't know.
He didn't realize you've been around the block already. You'd already seen the InfoWars episode where he exposes everything.
He hasn't tuned into politics as usual.
That's right. But y'all have, and I really appreciate it. And I don't know why. There we go. Now our faces are unfucked. Thank you so much for joining
now
us.
You can see more than just my shape on.
Right.
George couldn't believe that I had one and was like, "Yo, we just gotta highlight this in the chat."
So George is our producer, and we had a little mishap with the layout here, and it was just funny because it just looked like we were showcasing the barber's good job that he did. I'm so glad that didn't happen with me. I am my barber for the past half year, and I gotta be honest, I would not tip myself. It's not
really
easy.
You're your own barber.
I am. That's right. It's funny. I was actually kind of getting decent at.
That's what I was about to ask you. Are your barbering skills getting better with time?
They are. I'm getting better about the fade. It's becoming less. it's becoming an actual fade and not like
instead of just 2
right,
sections.
bro. My look at my temple was like a demilitarized zone. Like it was like that space between North Korea and South Korea where there's nothing there and no one can go there and shit. Like my beard and my hair had like an international agreement to not cross that line. And now it's an actual fade. It looks it's not like a dam in water on one side. It's like a wave kind of dissipating. And man, and that's how you know that I don't know how to give myself a fade because I just described it as a wave that dissipates. Joining us today later on is a friend of ours. His name is Jazz Tarky, and he says he's from a war-torn area in the Middle East. He says he's from the Kashmir region. I really hope this interview goes great. I hope I can ask all my questions before the rockets hit his house. But he's going to be here to share his insights on what it's like to have. Because I feel like we're kind of like virgins with the whole, crazy fanaticals are destroying our government. But I mean, I feel like in the Middle East, that's kind of like a everyday thing. You know what I mean, Sean?
I definitely do. The things that are going on in this country where it's like, this is the craziest time ever.
Right.
This is the craziest time in American history. In other parts of the world, they're like, what, nigga, that's a Tuesday.
I know, right? I saw this crazy video. It was of this town in Israel. They had a missile defense system called an Iron Dome. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's basically like they have a system set up that can detect missiles and shoot another missile that will detect that missile and hit the offending nation's missile with so that they basically
who works at this place? Batman?
Wayne Enterprises making that shit fucking Tony Stark. But yeah, that's the fucking thing. Because here's the thing I'll say is that everyone has been kind of talking. Everyone's been kind of talking a lot about what happened at the Capitol. You know, this is Protest Party TV, so that's like right up our alley. Like, you know, it's funny. It was so messed up that those people, you know, regardless of how you feel about politics, you can't, you know, try to like steal the lectern from the congressional chamber and sell it on eBay. And that guy really did that, and he just waltzed right through. There's a picture of him like doing that shit, and it's I don't know. I just felt like I think it's not crazy to say it's offensive.
This is a callback. A politics is usual callback. I've seen a video circulating of one of the guys talking about I am Q. Is this real? Is he one of the QAnons as you explained to me?
So
because this guy looked like he had no information that could damage anyone. He looked like if he told his secrets, the government officials would be like, so?
Right.
They don't even want to kill you for that.
They're in your fucking mind, man. Like, yeah.
I'm talking about the guy who had on the squirrel skin.
Oh, you're talking about the fucking the guy who looked like he was out of The Revenant, like the guy with the raccoon shit on it. He was looking like, who's that? Davy Crockett with like the raccoon on his head. Like, that's who that fucking guy was. Yeah, and it's funny that you say that. I didn't even know that he was a QAnon person or that he was claiming to be Q. Q is crazy. Oh, also let me say this too. Again, like I said, our show is also educational in purpose. That's what I tell myself to not realize that it's just dick jokes. But basically, the QAnon conspiracy theory is a popular conspiracy theory in America, especially in American conservative circles. And hey, if y'all in the chat, first of all, shout out Greg Carlisle on Facebook. Shout out DJ Stacy EJ. If y'all are Q, we'd like to have you on as a guest on our show. If you're not Q, stay and watch. But yeah, QAnon, yeah, it's a theory that there's a shadow government controlling the world, and that the people in the shadow government are pedophiles.
So they seen our last episode. They know.
That's right. There you go, baby. You already. I can
they
say
know who the Qs are.
I can say you already know, and like they really do already know. Yeah. So let me say this too. A lot of people were saying that this is wrong. This is so wrong. And as a host of a political comedy show, I was like, yes, the government is going down. I have more bits I can write. But I mean, you know, everyone's saying it was wrong. They were right. It was wrong. It's inexcusable. You know, all these dudes. Like I just.
So what was their quote unquote goal?
So these guys
were these people, were they different groups coming together where they all would stop the steal? Like what was their goal of running up on the building, and why'd they pick that building?
Right. So here's the background about this whole event. So as we all know, there has been quite a little bit of discontent over this last election. Many people in conservative circles, to say the least. Yeah, for real. Like people are just about ready to kill each other. But and we covered that on the prior episode. Are we gonna have a civil war? But anyway, we saw a lot of different groups that were there, but they were all similar in nature. So, the QAnon people, the people who believe that, Donald Trump needs to be in power because he is the catalyst to us uncovering the QAnon conspiracy theory for what it is. We had, and also mainstream conservatives, people who just thought that, Joe Biden sucked and he stole the election.
So Donnie T gets the Qs excited.
Right.
Every day he's like, I am cute. The Q, he's just jerky. I knew it.
Right.
I knew I was right.
Donald Trump was like the drum major for an HBCU, and they're like the people in the crowd. They're like, oh, he did a split. Right, they always get those. Yo, this is kind of a funny personal anecdote. So I went to Lakeside High School in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is in the DeKalb County School District. So this is where Mays High School, where CeeLo Green went to school is. And but so the funny thing is that we were like the one school that wasn't like the drum major doing like Cirque du Soleil and like girls wearing leotards and shit. Like we were like the white marching band. Like we were the like, let's play the national anthem with no jazz riffs. Like that was us. Everybody else.
So did you guys? And I hate to bring race into it.
What
walk of life was your drum major? Was he half and half?
How dare you bring race into it, Sean?
Was he a mixed breed?
I don't see color. I'm just fucking around. I do see color, and it's fucking wild. Let me say this. So we had I'll tell you this, we never had a black drum major is what I realized. And they did not do any backflips. They did not they did not fly through the air.
Only black people could. I thought you had to have a.
Right.
That's how black people get to go to Duke. They get a scholarship to be the drum major. Either play on the team or you cheer for the team.
Right. You know, if you're a girl there, you can be a cheerleader, or you can be this other cheerleading squad.
Or you can be the Tiana Trump style.
Right. There's like Beyonce and shit. Like, yo, and honestly, that's cool. Like, that, I love the fact that like black marching bands are like, yo, like we're gonna do a remix of the national anthem. Our band director was in the Air Force, so we just did like we literally played it the way the Air Force band plays. Like no one can move, or like you get yelled at, and like like we just marched around the at one point, like we fucking I think we did like part of one song we did at halftime was like an Ashley Tisdale song, like because the theme was flight and the song was about flying. This has nothing to do with QAnon, by the way.
The black national anthem. If the black people are doing the black national anthem, you see in the top left corner, Portland, Oregon. He's doing the black national anthem right now.
Oh, he is.
That's how long of a song it is.
Oh my god!
And then him on the bottom, he's over there, his hype man. Oh, set. Can you see?
Zombie on the track, like that's that fucking dude down there. Yo, this dude is so funny.
And Shorty in the front doing the sign language. I thought she was in the gang.
Oh,
she's doing sign language.
Throwing signs up.
I thought she was Millie Rock. She was over there like, oh, nah, listen. Can you see?
By the dawn's early light. Like, you thought she was, like, doing the fucking...
right, TikTok.
Right. You're like, who still does the nay-nay? It's like, no, she's trying to say that the bombs are bursting in air and... This isn't a fucking band. Yeah, that's funny as fuck because that happened to Walker Flocka. He thought this lady in the front was like dancing to his music. She was doing sign language.
He's over here like, okay,
right. Damn, Shawty, okay. Sean, have you ever had like a time in your life when you kind of misinterpreted someone's like hand signs or someone misinterpreted yours? Like I feel like you probably been in some rougher areas than I have. Like, has anything crazy happened to you?
You said have I misinterpreted hand signs?
Yeah, like have you like for example, like when I was in elementary school, we used to kind of like joke around, you know, like we would be like, because we thought we knew shit about gangbanging, so like kids would be like, hey look, and everyone would gather around and like, look, this is for Bloods. Oh, and we'd be like, oh shit, he did the Bloods. And I'm gonna keep my hand down here in case.
I don't want to.
Honestly, I bet you. Like,
I don't want any misconstrued.
Right. Let me get this jacket off real quick. Yo.
But no, I
Hold on, real quick. DJ Bunny.
You already know. DJ Bunny. It's been a while, but we back with politics.
That's right, baby.
But no, most of the hand signals that I get messed up is just like people waving. I'm like, you waving it? You waving it? You is it me? And they be like, yeah, you. I'm like, me?
That's so funny because I do that that happened to me in high school. This dude in front of me was trying to like dap up the dude behind me, and then I like intercepted it. It was the worst experience.
Turned into a three-way jam.
Exactly.
Like, oh, we shouldn't have did this.
It turned into some like Captain Planet shit. Like go, because you know Captain Planet, they would have like the rings, and they all like put their hands together and like solve climate change. I think the 90s were kind of we were still ironing out the kinks with the global warming marketing in the 90s. It was a weird time.
Shout out to the people watching on Facebook. Before we get into our topics, come on over to Twitch and subscribe. And
that's right.
Subscribe to tier number 1, just like DJ Bunny did. Shout out to DJ Bunny for subscribing to tier 1. And Shweebabble D. That's
right, Shweebabble D indeed. I'm gonna tell y'all this too, like when you follow us on Twitch, when you like us on Facebook, when you subscribe on YouTube, and whichever platform you're using, please add us on there. Or if you added us on one, do another. Yeah, it's dope. But let me say this too. When you do that, you can get notifications for when the show comes back. Like we do the show pretty regularly every week. Saturday at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. You know, if you're living on the East Coast. It's honestly like it's such a good time, and like we break down so many topics. We do it in a funny way, and honestly, I feel like the world kind of needs to have a laugh at the current political situation. Like it's so tense. You know, I think a lot of it's kind of like people.
Shout out to that East Coast too. They in the chat.
That's right. That's right. East Coast running deep. We got CDK ATL in there. We got DJ. I don't know where DJ Bunny post where you're at or don't if you're in witness protection.
So I've been waiting to ask you one more question, John.
Yeah.
What is a runoff election? I thought the one time I voted, I thought that I was doing something this year. And then there was this whole big thing. I thought Georgia, we was waiting for Georgia to turn. Then it turned. And then a couple of days later, it was like, we're back in Georgia. I was like, wait a minute, is this the rematch? What's going on?
No, like that's, you know what it is? It's overtime. So it's like if you've seen like a football game when you know it's 27-27 at the half or at the end of time, and then they have like the overtime, and they're like, all right, well, looks like y'all got to give each other some.
Is it first score wins?
So here's the deal. It's when they have the second election, then it's like literally you can win by any margin. So let me back up and say this. So an election in the Senate. For example, the Senate election in Georgia, so let's say me and Sean are running against each other, and Sean is ahead by 3,000 votes. He's ahead by 1%. That's not enough. That's not good enough. They're gonna be like, all right, well, you know, we're not convinced that everybody likes you. So then they do a runoff election, maybe like a few weeks later, I believe, and then you know, at that point it's like if Sean wins by 1 vote, he's got it at that point. But it's kind of, I feel like it's almost like it's like a double check. Make sure this is what everybody's fucking with before we order from the restaurant. You know what I mean?
2 people talking about Brooklyn right now.
Uh-oh.
Renaissance Quasar, what's happening in Brooklyn? DJ Bunny, there's a lot of people in Brooklyn right now.
Right.
March in Brooklyn, confronted by the police. God damn,
That's
James
crazy.
Harden just got there.
This
is his first game tonight. He fucking shit up already?
The police are probably Rockets fans who are like, all right, you shut up, like stop. I don't want to hear about it.
No, you know what it is? Because where James usually is playing in Houston, they're open. They're having a good time.
Oh.
Strip clubs are good.
He's like,
so when he came to town, everybody came from Houston like, nah, we can do shit, right? And Brooklyn, they're like, no, nigga, this is New York.
He's like, where's the...
We still locked down here. Everybody's in the streets like, open up the club. Open up the club.
So that's
James had 40. Open up the club.
Yo,
look at that drum major. Look at the drum major.
There is a drum. Okay, I mean, keep talking about this.
Is he a white drum major?
This is a first. This is a first.
I'm trying to zoom in. The camera is going up the I-95. Where I'm from in New Jersey, I probably know where this road is. Okay, I see my man on the skateboard.
This is an unprecedented, Sean. This is an unprecedented moment in history. You are seeing it first on ProtestParty.tv. We are breaking this news to the world. This breaking story. There is a white drum major. I repeat, a white drum major in existence who is high-stepping.
Renaissance Quasar's question is: are they protesting for Black Lives Matter or something else in Brooklyn? We're researching right now. We have our Cracker Jack staff, our Ace Cracker Jack staff, working on it, and we're gonna unpack this topic live. Now, the police do seem to be chill. We don't see any SWAT. We don't see any guns drawn. And where me and Jonathan, when we visit protests in LA, there's obviously all of that. You know, there's the people. There's the what are they called? The National Guard with their arms ready. And so it seems to be a peaceful protest, whatever it's for. Like I said, the Brooklyn Nets game did just wrap up.
Did they win? Because if not,
they
explain it.
were losing the last time I checked in. Maybe that's why they're protesting.
Right.
Everybody just left the Barclays and was like, "Yo, what we doing?"
Exactly. What's the next
How
move?
you say that to the whole basketball stadium? Yo, what's the move?
Right. And you know, they had to yell it just like that because everyone has to social distance at the stadium. So like everyone's like, "Hey, where you going? Hey, where are you going?" Yo, are you? What is there? Is it like a party or something?
Oh, I feel bad for the doggies. Little pup.
So this is actually kind of funny. For those of you just now joining us, we're talking about this.
Oh, okay. They are saying they did have Black Lives Matter signs.
Oh, okay. So it is a black.
So
guy.
did you find out anything?
So I'm looking on Twitter because here's the deal. No other, like I said, we are breaking this.
If you
story.
want the real news,
right. Let me hit the latest tab on the Twitter. So here's the deal. So there's this big protest going on in Brooklyn right now. Like I said, it's crazy. It's insane.
Oh, okay. Renaissance Quasar, huh? He's getting a little He's showing his true colors. He said, whatever it is, the police need to get their asses.
Oh, yo, he talking shit. Yo, y'all talk some shit with us in the chat if you're watching.
We love it, Renaissance Quasar.
Right,
they need to get their asses for walking peacefully.
Yo, start some shit, baby.
I don't know. They didn't get them at the Capitol building.
right.
So we can let them live at the Barclays. All I'm saying is
they're trying to make up for it. They're like, oh, okay, we can't let them know we're slipping. Let me say this too. So like no news. This is just happening now. No news outlets have posted about it.
Remind me of the lightning round. I want to tell you more about that guy who bothered me with the about his FC story. I just remember some shit. But all right,
well, did he bring up Coconut Grove or whatever the fuck, Bohemian Grove or whatever that was?
No. He brought out. He was like, yeah. There's a reason that they can't. That they didn't want to give capital punishment to an elite white. They always give capital punishment to the elite black people and the elite brown people, but they never give capital punishment because they can't have an example of an elite white getting capital punishment. And I was just like, all right, I gotta Google what capital punishment is.
right. It's like, and the Monroe Doctrine from 1812 says that. And it's like, whoa, let me Wikipedia this.
I was like, yo, I'm listening to Joe Budden, not Joe Biden. Do you know him? He made Pump It Up. You ever heard of it?
No, I'm a Joe Rogan listener. Like, you need to phrase this in terms of like psychedelics and elk meat. I don't understand. Fucking, and that's again, it's another purpose of our show, just to break this down, make it less crazy and all that. Because the world is crazy. Like I said, there is a white drum major high stepping and dancing in the streets of Brooklyn. Like this.
Oh, so he had a historic debut. I'm saying.
That's right. So here's what I was about to bring up just now is that
triple double in his first game. He said, "Yo, get me out of Houston, send me to Brooklyn, and I'm a ball on these niggas." Okay, James Harden. He set the city on fire. They walking up and down the street with nothing to do.
Dog, I'm gonna be honest too. James Harden had such a huge performance in his debut game with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm looking on Twitter trying to find somebody talking about this protest. No one is like this protest is like on the verge of violence. It's on the verge of basically civil revolt, and not even people subverting the very fabric of our nation. That is not as impactful as the 3-point shooting. As the blocks, as the
alley-oop.
Right.
Yo, shout out to this white drum major. He's got some swag. He's on the skateboard.
He's on a skateboard?
And
damn.
He's leading the multitude. Moses could never. He's leading the multitude on 4 wheels. He's kick pushing, he's kick flipping.
Damn. That's crazy.
Got his Vans on and they look like sneakers.
and they're all either.
Oh, Jonathan, this is a historic night. If we look at Seattle, Washington, there's another protest that seems to be walking down the street. There's a woman with a homemade drum, and she seems to be a Caucasian. 2 white drum majors in one night. This is historic, buddy. This is historic, my friend.
We have a whole white drum section. I mean, a cover of a Michael Jackson song will break out at any moment, people.
Like
Stay
literally,
tuned.
open mouth, insert foot. I said at the top of this show that, that is a black job. And they were like, black. Please, buddy. If you thought the protests were good, check this out.
Right, exactly. Don Resident Quasar, he said the police need to get out the way and go home, whatever the protest is. Honestly, I agree, and that's why like I said, like you said, this is like you can't shut down.
Oh, Renaissance Quasar is on our side. All right,
that's right, baby.
He's saying there are good police, but fuck them niggas.
Oh, Protest Party TV said they're Native American, but the person on the skateboard.
Who's there? Oh, Seattle, Washington.
Right.
So she's saying that they're Native American.
Right. So the people with the drums are Native American. So I mean, you know,
that makes sense.
Right. For real. No, and that's dope too, because I mean, like they're supposed to be here. We're
No,
not.
you're right. He is dressed. If he was black, he'd be a pimp. Look at
Right,
that kid he's got on.
exactly.
He is definitely Native American.
Dog,
I'm sorry that my idiot ways did not do that.
If he wants to be a pimp named Nickelback, then we will accept a white man wearing these like long clothes and dancing at the front of a big group. I love it. I want to add this too. You know, I'm just still in shock that James Harden just like all those dunks and like rebounds and shit were like so he overshadowed this. But let's not allow it to be overshadowed, man. Like y'all tune in, y'all weigh in, comment on our comment section. Let us know how you feel about it. Resident Quasar earlier said ACAB BLM 100%. Sorry for confusion. Damn, he hates the police and he hates being misinterpreted. That's just like me. And then fucking DJ Bunny. Oh, DJ Bunny's countering. She's talking about. She posted the Gadsden snake and said some cops are okay. Sean, you know about the Gadsden snake?
No.
So if you look at DJ Bunny's comment,
No, I see it, and I'm explain to me.
Right.
Enlighten me.
So this is it really. So a lot of people have seen this image, but they don't know what it's called or where it's from. But it's been kind of in circulation. I'm not sure when it started. Maybe it's either during the Revolutionary War or the Civil War.
The Gadsden?
The Gadsden flag. So it's
Gadsden.
Right.
Okay,
and it's referencing. It's Resident Quasar. He's shedding some light on it. He said it's a bunch of right-wing libertarians called "Don't Tread on Me," and that's kind of it. So basically, there's a flag that you will commonly see. And it's yellow and it has that snake on it and it says "Don't tread on me." And it was popular in like the Civil War and then like afterwards. It's kind of like a rallying thing for white Southerners. It's basically it's like the alternate jersey of the Confederate flag in a way. And but the thing is that nowadays,
it's funny as hell.
Right, exactly. It's their home alternative.
So what is this phrase? Don't tread on me. What does that mean exactly? Like, what are they saying? Like, don't step on me, literally, like, because
they might have a fetish. Someone has a fetish.
I don't know if these people, do they feel stepped on? Like, explain it to me. What is "don't tread on me"?
Right, and so here's the interesting. They that is exactly it. Like they feel like the big government is stepping on them. Two Chumps Watch say, "Yeah, don't tread on my rights." Yeah, that's literally it. They feel like they want to. They feel like people are.
Don't put restrictions on my life.
Don't tell me what to do. Don't put restrictions on what I'm trying to do. Don't take away my.
Don't tell me what guns I can buy. Don't tell me what I do with my land.
Right.
Don't tell me where I can ride my ATVs.
And don't even think about it. Right. It's don't even think about it.
Don't tell me who to hate. Don't tell me who to love.
Right. Don't tell me how to talk. All that stuff, and that's what they're all about. Don't tell me.
Tell me what the age of consent is.
Okay, let's play.
Okay, Two Chumps Watch.
Yo.
I don't want to know. All right, plausible deniability.
Dog, yeah, because here's the funny thing is that what he's referencing is a meme about how people who are there's kind of like and it's one of those memes where it's like it's not.
If you're in the chat, follow Jazz Target.
That's right.
Yeah,
follow Jazz Target, baby.
Don't tread on me is one of those memes that what?
Yeah. So it's kind of become that and also the libertarian affiliation with it. There's been kind of a meme on social media going around with younger people where they talk about how I'm not generalizing. It's only some libertarians, but some of them have started to try to make serious arguments saying that we need to dial back the age of consent. They argue that they're trying to say like you are an adult when you're a teenager, basically, or they're trying to say.
I'm gonna say this: they are burning the candle on both ends because they're also trying to increase the length of when a woman is allowed to get an abortion.
Right. Oh, how
so
about
it's just
that?
like, hey, fuck them here and fuck them here.
Right.
Let's just close the gap.
You know what? Just don't fuck. Just don't fuck. No fuck. No fucking. No sex unless it's with me.
God damn. So I know that in some states, we've discussed this before. I know that in like some states, even America, that it's 16. But what age do they want?
I mean, I don't know why they're attracted to
middle schoolers. It's like, hey, girl, I got your lunch money. Like, what?
Is he picking them up after soccer practice? And they have all these like terms, like they say it's like I fell into like a rabbit hole. They were talking about it on Reddit. Yeah, honestly, like the whole thing is kind of gross. It's just one of those arguments you can't make in good faith. It just sounds you sound like a weirdo, and honestly, you are. Libertarian argument. What if the child consents? See, and that brings up a bigger. I feel like it's almost like a macro.
Listen, we talked about that. Remember I told you the story about when I was 16 and that teacher fucked me?
Oh, that's right. Sean did tell that story on a prior episode. Yeah, and by the way, yeah, if y'all want to see that and more stories about our trauma, please watch older episodes of our show on protestparty.tv. Just go to Twitch, and they're all there.
Also share it. Like, once you share it, forget about it, but
That's
just
right.
share it. In that moment, be in the moment. What's his name? Nietzsche?
Yeah.
Be in the moment like Nietzsche and share the shit.
That's right, Friedrich Nietzsche, man. He had the right idea, but this teacher didn't, Sean. What happened?
Oh man. So basically, I consented. Even more so, I was the Pepe Le Pew in the situation. She was like, Sean, I'm an adult. You can't do this. I was like, nah, baby. And okay, here's the fucked up. She was a white woman. It's this teacher. She was younger. She's in her 20s. I'm 17, 16 years old, about to turn 17. She's about 28. And her name, well, I'm not going to say her name, but I'll just say this. My last name is Connor. She had the same last name as me. Now, no relation, but because of this, we just had a bit of camaraderie. I could call her Mrs. Connor and be like, oh, are you my, you know? Or I could just call her by her first name in the middle of class. And after a while, she would just let it ride. And no other student would do this. But I'd be like, I'm allowed to do this. Okay. I won't abuse it, but I'm going to stay late after class and see what's up. One day I got her number. One day she drank a little bit of wine and was like, bring your young ass over. I went over there, had my best shape up and my best jokes ready. And then 30 minutes later, I was getting squirted on. So it was a traumatic situation.
Damn.
But I consented because I went after it. So if my 16-year-old ass, you'd be like, hey, nigga, it's better to be pissed on than to be pissed off. But, you know, in other parts of the country, we may see that as wrong. So I don't know what the new age of consent is be, but I'm fucking with old bitches from now on. So it don't even make a difference to me. By the time I'm fucking with them, they trust me. Their age of consent has been long gone.
Dog, straight up, man. That story is wild, and honestly, so that kind of introduces like a gray area almost. ABC 127, sharing is caring. She's not a true teacher with morals. Speaking for all ethical, that is true. Like we gotta, as everyone, every time this happens, everyone's like, oh, the teacher, oh, the dude got pussy. Like, okay, like it's so wrong, it's so fucked up. Like, and because the thing is, here's the deal. It's like I feel like a lot of people would hear you tell that story and be like, yeah, high five. But like if it was like a girl and like a older dude, right? It's like ew, like
a teacher,
right?
Let's find him now and kill him. I'm fucking 30.
I know, right?
Let's find him now and kill him.
It's like, damn, bro, that dude's and like that woman, you know, it's so crazy that no young boy wouldn't take that shit.
I disagree. I disagree. There's a lot of young boys who'll be like, yo, I'm not doing that.
I do not have that strength. I'm gonna tell you right now, like I had this like one teacher that was like attractive. Yeah, if she had done, I would, because your brain is malleable. You're susceptible. That's why it's illegal. You know, it's like your brain is not fully formed. You know, you're not thinking rationally. And you're a kid. You need to be doing your A push homework. You don't need to be like trying to like try to smash the teacher and all that. Because then also, what if you like so you had a pretty good performance that night? Do you think?
Let me say,
was it like decent? Was it?
I mean, we're getting into a very nuanced topic, but to wrap it up quick, you can Google this if you're at home. When I was very young, had a condition called sexual workhorse syndrome, where I only receive pleasure if I know my partner is receiving pleasure. And I started fucking at 14, and I didn't start coming until I was like 21.
Damn.
So I'm fucking all these years, but I'm just fucking with a hard dick, and every girl's like, why can't you come? So I did have a cool little performance, but I also had 16-year-old fucking. So I got a lot of energy. I got one speed. I got go. And she had to tell me, slow down, enjoy the pussy.
Damn. So the reason why I asked that question, which is like so fucked up, and also
you asked that I have a good performance because I said she squirted. The squirting had nothing to do with me.
Okay. That was definitely
in the middle of me fucking. She said, "Have you ever seen a girl squirt?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Okay, do this." So she told me what to do with my hand, and then she did something with her hand, and then the squirt came. But I was just a participant in this tango. I was not leading the dance.
Right. You couldn't. You were a kid, and and the reason why I say that is because you know, like it would like affect your grade. You know, she would be given like preferential treatment to you, and she would have been like, oh well, you know, he put in a good effort, so I'll reward that. I mean, the only effort they need to be rewarding is your effort in school. We got any kids watching? Learn from what's going on around you in the world. Don't let yourself become susceptible. Honestly, don't be susceptible to your feelings. Don't be susceptible to your environment, to people who are trying to, like, you know, throw this propaganda at you.
Yo, if you a young man and you on varsity, fuck that teacher, man. She just wanted some dick with some dick with goals, some dick with potential.
Hey, she missed out in her time, and she's trying to make up for it. But her
exactly,
time,
you get it, John.
Right.
You get it, John.
Her time
she
is
didn't
gone.
get to go into the homecoming or the or the prom, or nobody wanted to walk with her at graduation.
You know,
but
so
now
she's like, oh, you will now.
Now she can pay her rent and afford to get her hair done because her mama wasn't letting her shave her legs. So.
Right.
Put your
exactly.
17-year-old dick in there. No, don't do this. I do
don't
not want to promote.
This is just a bit. This is just a,
I do not want to
before
promote
we get shut down on Twitch. Before we get shut down on
I'm gonna
Twitch.
get an email like, we heard you on
protest party. This is not gonna fly right now. Let me tell you this right now. So real quick, in 1 minute, we're gonna go to our 5-minute break. Then we're gonna bring in our guest. His name is Jazz Tarkey, and this is our first international guest. All our guests have been Americans. We did have this one guy on who just went by Green Bay 69, so who knows where he was actually from. But he was coming at us from like a bunker. But basically, yeah, so Jazz Tarkey, he's from a very crazy area going through a crazy time in the Middle East. I don't want to call the area crazy because that's probably going to be like outlawed socially in a year. But yeah, there's a lot of conflict going on there. And I feel like maybe it might be helpful to do that. Maybe if we kind of like look around and think like, oh, this isn't just happening to me. That was something that helped me out mentally recently. You know, I was going through my own struggles, and then I realized it's like, oh, like I feel like I'm alone, but I'm not alone. You know, a lot of people are going through the same thing. And so it's like when we look at our government going crazy, and it's like, oh, you know, like a lot of people are kind of going through this. So like, let's like look around and see how people handle it right and wrong, so that we don't handle it wrong, and so that we do handle it right. And on that note, we're going to go to break for 5 minutes. We'll be showing you maybe some promotional programming or maybe some more protests. Y'all stay with us. Hey, we're about to leave. We're about to leave for like 5 minutes and get like a drink.
If you're drinking in the chat, come back with your drink.
Come back.
We want to know what you're drinking.
Come back with your drink. We want to know what you're drinking. All right, y'all. We'll be out right now, and in 5 minutes, we'll be right back with some more programs. So y'all stay tuned.
Bye, dummy.
It's okay if I mute now?
And these are some of the officers that are on foot.
Hello.
We said no justice.
Yo, wait. Y'all got the game fucked up. This is our First Amendment right. Do y'all not know that? Do y'all not know y'all on the news? Or what the fuck y'all doing to us? We're allowed to, nigga. We're allowed to. Are y'all scared because y'all got put on blast? And guess what? Are y'all dead? Yeah, fucking pussy. But guess what? Line up. Yo, start running their badges right fucking now. Start running their badges. Start running their badges. Find out what fucking pussy they are. And we're going to line all y'all niggas up. And we're coming to get precinct, though. We're coming. And we're going to finish our goal. What the fuck we start tonight? We're going to finish our fucking goal. They're not running the play like that. Where was the second people? Yo, where was that fucking capital, bro? Where was the
Yeah, Artem is the one who pulled his gun out when we were out on the march last week. And I still haven't seen any accountability on that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We ain't gonna stay here all day while I look at statues. This is our street, our city. We pay the tax. We fund this shit. We out. Let's go.
push.
You are unlawfully obstructing pedestrian traffic. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you. If you refuse to disperse, you will be placed under arrest and charged with disorderly conduct. This is the New York City Police charges will be placed against you. And charged with disorderly conduct. This is the New York City Police Department. You are unlawfully obstructing pedestrian traffic. You are ordered to disperse now to permit the safe flow of pedestrian traffic. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you.
Okay, the white shirt actually pushed the other officer in towards the other guy.
This is the New York City Police Department. You are unlawfully obstructing pedestrian traffic. Ordered to disperse now. Placed under arrest and charged with disorderly conduct. You are unlawfully obstructing pedestrian traffic.
Everybody, stop barking!
Disperse now to permit the safe flow of pedestrian traffic. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you. If you refuse to disperse, you will be
So that white shirt back there, he pushed the other officer
New
in.
York City Police Department. You are unlawfully obstructing pedestrian traffic. You are ordered to
Everybody on the sidewalk, if you're with us on the sidewalk. We do this every night. Stay together.
America, we are back. This is politics as usual. We came back from the break on time, not that CP time shit that we did every other week. Let me tell y'all something, man. We got a great segment for y'all coming up. We're talking to somebody who is from the Middle East, and he's gonna talk to us about about his culture and all that, and what's been going on over there, so that he can give us some context. Because right now we're just like, everyone in America is like, oh my God, the country is ending, the country is getting destroyed, and he's like, oh, like our country gets destroyed like every other Wednesday at like 5. So right now I want to welcome to the studio Jazz Tarkin. What's up, Jazz Tarkin? Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, why you're wearing a blazer indoors. What's up?
Thank you very much. My name is Jazz Turkey, and I'm come from Punjab area, a now defunct village called Fegwara. And so I immigrate to America. I run away. lot of bombing and a whole bunch of different things happening. And so, yes, I come from very unstable region. So, lot of problems, and you in America are going through similar things. But it also happened where I come from back in 1984. What happened was the government. This was government, not the people. But what happened is the government. They tried to do genocide against my people, which is the Sikh people. In 1984, they go to our main holy church place we call Amritsar Golden Temple. I don't know if you know.
If they went and did that,
Can you say the name of the region you're from one more time?
Sure, it's Punjab.
Punjab. Okay, so
Yes.
what country would that be in, or is it in multiple countries?
Yeah. It's in India, so it bordered between Pakistan, India, China. So it's up there in the north. It's in Kashmir. I don't know if you know Kashmir.
Yeah, well, yeah, I heard the song by Led Zeppelin, but I haven't been to the area. Probably because the area is going through it right now. And again, that's why we
Yes.
wanted to bring you on because we just in case you hadn't, I don't know like how well news is kind of like reaching out. Or you said you're in America right now, right?
Yes,
Okay, good.
I
That's what
immigrate.
Do you still have family back there?
Yes, I still have lot of family back over in that region. They not make it out like me. I smart. I run away.
Suck it.
Wait, did you tell them you were leaving, or did you just like bye bye?
I just bounce, man. I was like, I'm not staying.
You're like, yo, I'm gonna just
Oh, wait.
fucking dip. And honestly, I'm built different. I'm hustling. I'm grinding. I don't have time for like people who aren't. If you're not in my circle, you literally just kind of did what all those like social media influencers claim that they do. Like they say that they just like. You ever notice how some people on social media are always like every 4 months they post something about cutting out toxic people. It's like you've been through like 30 friend groups. Like you're like the Detroit Lions, like switching head coaches every other year. Like you need to like look inward, like fix the defense. Like do not fucking.
I had one
switch up.
friend group, and then they get blown up. And it was like,
Yo,
oh,
hey,
I don't know you anymore.
Your family might be getting blown up, but the Lions are getting blown out, and it's for the same reason. They're not on that grind. Let me say this too, because I want to bring this up because I know you probably seen some world leaders get like shot. You probably seen like some houses getting blown up. In America, we had a guy who was dressed like some sort of like weird extra on the movie The Revenant, and he ran up in the White House, or not, he ran up in our Capitol building, and he like stole a bunch of he grabbed a bunch of stuff. A bunch of other guys came in. This one dude, it looks like his name is Mike or something. He like took a picture of himself like sitting in Nancy Pelosi's desk. Another politician. They basically just forced their way in and ran up in there. And let me say this, like all these like news networks were saying, "Oh, this is unimaginable. A man dressed as a Viking tore up Nancy Pelosi's office." I was like, hold on, what? This is unimaginable? Yo, like, don't act like you don't want to do this. Like, you're like, oh, a man dressed as a Viking tore up Nancy Pelosi's office. Bro, Nancy Pelosi probably wants to tear up Nancy Pelosi's office. Like, would you pass up that opportunity, Sean? If you got a text on, well, I guess it will be on Parler, that app for people who do stuff like this. They were like, it was like, hey, would you like to hang out tomorrow? We'll, hang out. We'll smoke a blunt and destroy America.
I think you asked him a good question though. Like, I want to know that too. Like, when you see that the guy who is an extra on The Revenant is he like is he just like shooting a water gun at a fire, or is he like? Do you see him as a domino? Like, oh shit, this could be a slippery slope. This is how it started to go bad where I'm from. Is there smoke to this fire, or is there fire to this smoke, or is this just like bullshit?
So there is definitely smoke to this fire. The thing is you never know what is going to be the main theme that sets off the chain of reaction that leads to civil war. In one country, I think it was like Belarus or something, what ended up happening was a car bomb went off, and that was what triggered a civil war. And if you look back in history, if you go to World War I, what exactly triggered that event?
It seems like a lot of these events that were the catalysts were kind of planned.
Yes, like I was saying with the World War I, what happened was the Archduke, he get assassinated, and that was a conspiracy plot by a group of people known as the Black Hand. So
we don't know. We don't know that actually. There might have been a second shooter on the grassy knoll, and I think he was also in with the mob. And again, we're waiting on Q to pull up the document, but the jury's still out on the whole Archduke Franz Ferdinand. I mean, like, if you want to be a sheep and believe that that group killed him, and that's what instigated World War I. But we here at Politics as Usual know that it was the Rothschilds playing you like puppets.
Well, but it doesn't really make a difference, who do the killing. The killing itself is what triggered the world event.
And y'all in the
because
Kashmir region, you guys know you're killing.
yes. Yes, so basically, right now, I would be more worried about Pakistan and India than what is really happening in America, because in Pakistan and India, they have not good relationship. So imagine it like this: imagine if America was on border of Iran or Iraq or any other of these Middle Eastern country. There is so much tension between these two people. The war might be inevitable in that scenario. And so
And
likewise, what
I
we're seeing.
understand that. I understand that, but they've been beefing for so long. Like
Hmm.
and I know how it is when it's like the tension is just building and building and building. When it finally erupts or pops, or when that fight finally busts that nut, how much does that spill over to the rest of the world?
It depends. If it is United States and United States ends up having civil war, it is probably going to be the end of the world as we
And
know
we
it.
know our
Because
civil war is here in America.
yes, because but here's the thing about civil war happening in America and why it's so dangerous. What happening is the United States, we produce a lot of the food for the world. And if we are having civil war, what is going to end up happening is you're going to see massive famine all around the globe because
We
we will
do?
not be. Yes, we export a lot of food. Corn is our main crop, but the
I
number
thought
one
the
crop.
U.S. had no exports. No, you're educating me, but I thought we were running on a deficit, had no exports,
and let me
and I'm sure that there are people in the chat who are stupid like me. So thank you.
Well, see, let me add this too, because it's so easy to get caught up in a bubble. Sean and I are currently in Los Angeles, and everyone here has been starving themselves for years. I didn't know famine was around the corner. We're going through. Everyone here is doing it right now. But so let me add this too. Like I feel like uh yeah, oftentimes like Americans have a habit of catastrophizing. Like I remember people talking about people saying Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. I remember distinctly hearing on multiple news channels people claiming that was a sign of the times, and that we were headed towards moral depravity and darkness. And just because Starbucks changed the cup design that one Christmas. Do you think that Americans are just do you think that Americans are just kind of like limp wristed about this whole thing? Like, do you think Americans are kind of like weak, and like, because I feel like we go through the slightest thing and then we immediately jump to like, oh, this is America sucks, it's over, this is terrible.
Every month is the end of the world.
Right, right. This is when someone says it. Do you think we're crazy? We are. I
So
mean, do you think so?
yes, no. So thing is that America, we don't have any more enemies. After fall of Soviet Union, who is America's enemy? Who is our enemy? And so what has happened is that the news media, because we don't have any real enemy that is opposed to us like a Soviet Union, what happens is the media must now pit American against American. And so what they do is they do this culture war nonsense, which is basically, oh, Starbucks is going to ruin Christmas and all that other bullshit. And the thing is this is actually what capitalism do. Capitalism, it forces uh, continuous growth. And so if you can demonize a group of people and you can make a profit off of that demonization, this is the kind of road it leads to. Oh
So I
shit, I
remember
think I
seeing
lose my.
not to interrupt. I remember seeing an episode of VeggieTales where they said that Jesus Christ and the free market were the only things that would bring freedom to America. Are you telling me that might have possibly been a lie? Because I know there's a lot of division going on in America in general. I mean, there's division in our comment section right now. CDKATL and Trump Queen are beefing, baby. Yo, she said, "Where's that Trump Queen lady? Maybe she knows about Q." I know when she said that line, she was like doing this, like a black woman doing. Then Trump Queen actually popped up with her little Kanye icon.
So
Yeah, which is kind of funny. So like Kanye West, he ran for office in America, and people thought that was crazy. But I'm sure there's plenty of like random jokers like running for office if there are free elections where you're at. Like, do you think that your region kind of suffers from crazy people running for office?
Yeah, is celebrity something that spills over into politics? Like, do you see people who are, maybe in film or in music, being like, I'm gonna take my hand in running the country.
Yes,
I'm just like
it does. It does actually happen a lot. I remember in one country, this comedian, he play on TV a politician, and
I
so he
know what you're
run.
talking about. And
Yes,
everybody
and
voted for him like a bit.
yeah, they voted for him, and he ended up becoming the president of the country. So in
Damn.
America, we have sometimes there is senator named Al Franken, or used to be senator. He was a comedian, a stand-up comedian who went into the Senate, and so you will see a lot of celebrity people who think they can make a change in the country. They want to, oh, I think I have great vision for country. I'm going to do the greatest thing, and that's kind of what we have with Donald Trump. He's like, oh, but Donald Trump, he's full of shit. There is no excuse around it. He's very narcissistic. He doesn't really care about the people, and so he's the beginning of the fake populism that we see happening all around the world. Fake populism in Brazil, you have the same thing, fake populism, and all across in Europe, we are seeing this right wing shift towards these fake populists who are
That's interesting.
demonizing. Yes,
You
and
said
they
it was like happening in Brazil too. Is it because every time I'm in like a comment section for like a band or a rapper or something, there's always people saying come to Brazil," and maybe they're just so like depressed that like their country
Wait,
being overrun by
I
a populist far right person. They're like, "Oh my god, I just need to see a concert. I need to get the fuck out of the house. Come to Brazil. Take me with you. I fucking hate this." And honestly, I get that. I totally get that. Because I'm gonna bring this up too, because my point of view is that, and I'll let Sean share his point of view on this in a second, but I feel like with populist leaders, and I'm talking about people who aren't substantial. Some people are populist, but they have legitimate points that they're making. They're making fair points. They're not out here, claiming that China made up climate change to like fuck with us, or claiming that he is like in great shape when he clearly is like on his dying breath. But I feel like a lot of the time when these like leaders come in and they turn out to be shitty, like with our current leader who's going to be out in 5 days. But or I don't even know how many. The time doesn't exist now. My point is that I think it inspires people to go crazy when the leadership is crazy. And like for example, when those dudes ran up on like Nancy Pelosi's office and ran up on the Capitol, honestly, Nancy Pelosi was probably like, "Oh, no work tomorrow? Shit. I hope they come back." It's like
That's an American point of view.
right. She's watching she's watching the
like if your school catches on fire.
I was just about to say,
shit. I ain't got no class. You're like, wait, your school is on fire.
Nancy Pelosi is watching the news like you when it was like a snow day and you were trying to see like when I was looking for DeKalb County schools to get a ban, or because it was like when it was like a snow up in New Jersey. Y'all know how to deal with snow. We don't. We're in Atlanta. We don't know how to deal with racial issues, and so we're not even at square one. Like we haven't dealt with people who aren't religious yet, and then it's like if snow comes, we're like, ugh. But the thing is that I feel like it's like crazy begets crazy. It's like these people these leaders inspire people to start saying, the facts don't matter. I feel like election fraud caused this result, and I think it did. Do you feel like the leaders have made the people crazy where you're at, or do you feel like it's vice versa?
so definitely the leader will trigger. The leader will embolden his
Those
supporters,
leaders
and
do
so
love triggers.
yes, and so if you have group of people who really like this person, they're going to believe whatever he is saying. So if
Are they a mirror of each other, or are they influenced by the leader?
it's
Or maybe it might just be kind of like at the
is
same time, like they all kind of like
I think the
Was that a clear question?
could you ask it again? I'm not.
Okay. Does the does the leader, whichever leader is chosen by the people, is that a reflection of how the people truly feel in their hearts, Or do these people not know how they feel, and whatever leader they decide, oh, we like him, so whatever he thinks must be right?
Yes and no. The thing is it's a lot of variables. It's a very difficult question to really answer, because the thing is when you look at the South, reconstruction it never finished.
Yeah.
And so what end up happening is you see all those people in the South, they are having the Confederate flag, and a
Yo,
lot of them
it's a lot
believe
of
that,
people in the South
oh,
with busted down wigs. They need to reconstruct that too.
yes, but you
Some of
see
these
the thing
people in
is,
Atlanta, they need to reconstruct that lace front.
yes, but what I'm trying to say is, so a lot of these people in the South, they believe that a civil war was over states' rights, and that's all it was, and they don't understand that it was actually, for slavery, to defend the slavery. And so the thing is, when you look at all these people flying Confederate flags and everything, you kind of know what they believe. You can automatically assume that these people are most definitely racist, and that they don't like black people, they don't like minority people. And what you end up seeing with Donald Trump is he come in and he do the demonization of the black people, he do the demonization of the Mexicans, of the Muslims, and all these different people. And so when you have racist population, when you never finish reconstruction, and these people who really believe, oh, black people evil, a Mexican is illegal Mexican going to come kill my family in drive-by. These people, they're automatically going to go to the person who is saying, I am going to come in, I'm going to build a wall, we're going to keep out the Mexicans, we're going to keep out the Muslims. And the thing is that these white people, they have never been exposed to immigrants, never been
That's
exposed.
true.
And
That
so
is true.
there
And
is this
let me tell you
fear.
how I know that. Not sorry to interrupt. Because I can confirm that for you because half the time I'm at like a Mexican restaurant or something, the white ladies try to order in this like broken Spanish. Like they're sitting there like trying to recall the like 4 words they remember.
Me llamo chicken.
And he's like, "Yo, I'm from Detroit. Can you just speak English? Like, I don't. You don't need to do Spanish." She'd be like, "Oh, adios. No, that's good. Lo siento.
I just want to offer one different point of view because I know that there's a lot of people in the chat. You're absolutely right about them not even being exposed to those groups of people to know how to handle or deal with them or to know what they're like. Because my first real experience living below the Mason-Dixon line was when I went to school in West Virginia. And it was a culture shock for me because I seen a lot of things that I didn't even know. I graduated high school in 2010, so I'm in the 2000s in my mind. When I went to live in West Virginia, I had roommates or dorm mates that when they grew up, they had outhouses and they lived in a completely different world. But just to bring home this point, I literally had black people on campus who would have like the Confederate flag on their wall because it was history for them. They had parents that fought in the or grandparents that fought in the war, and that was their claim to fame. That was their badge of honor. So for them, it was kind of something to be proud of, even though it did represent a time of discrimination and separation. Just in their
Yes.
mind, they didn't see it as that.
That's right. And
You
I had like a
see, the
parallel
reason
experience.
I can explain
Going from
reason for that.
going from let me say this real quick just because I had like a parallel experience going from Atlanta, my hometown, to Statesboro where I went to school. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy seeing how people. I mean, these people literally they live in a completely different world with none of the elements from when I grew up. And I remember seeing billboards for Sons of the Confederacy. Daughters of like people wearing it on their sleeve, like that's right, we took an L, yeah. Like you don't see me wearing like Atlanta Falcons 2016 NFC Championship T-shirts. Why? Like I don't wear Super Bowl 51 shirts because that was a game we lost. So I feel like I don't know. So it's kind of interesting looking at it from that perspective. And also, yeah, like you said, Jazz, the fact that it's bigoted, like the Confederacy was wrong. They were trying to preserve slavery, and yeah. So that was always kind of peculiar to me. That it's like they ascribe it to their identity and the land they're from, and they wear it on their sleeve. I don't know if you've seen anything like that, Jazz, or I'm sure you don't have the same. I don't know if there's any rednecks in India right now, but let me know what you think.
Well, you got a lot
So
to answer there, but the
yes.
first thing was
So
why
the reason why,
yeah. Go ahead.
or so the reason why they are proud of Confederacy is because like I was saying, Reconstruction never finished. For example, if we look at
So what do you
Germany after,
just so I what do you mean by that? In our chase for a perfect society, we're gonna veer off in a lot of ways.
kinda well, not re, I'm not sure what exactly you're asking.
Oh, when you say
You know,
Reconstruction never ends, I feel like Reconstruction is
Oh.
us trying to
Can you explain what to everyone real quick what
Reconstruction is.
Yeah,
Because
after Civil
so
War.
what I'm hearing is like us trying to become a better government through checks and balances.
no, that's not what I mean by
Oh,
Reconstruction.
okay, word.
So so after Civil War, Abraham Lincoln he began Reconstruction, and so Reconstruction was to bring back South into the whole Union, and to get them to understand, hey, it's okay, we went to war, and everything, but we are American at heart. And so what ended up happening is Abraham Lincoln he gets assassinated before Reconstruction can finish. And so when that happened, the next person who come in, he I believe he was a Democrat, and back then Democrat was conservative party. They were Dixiecrat. They were very racist party, part of
I've never
KKK.
heard the word Dixiecrat said with that accent. This is wild,
Oh,
man. Keep going.
so like I was saying, after Lincoln assassinated, Reconstruction basically stopped. And what we end up seeing happen is you see monuments to Confederate leaders put up, you see the people marching, South will rise again. And that is all a part of failure of not doing Reconstruction. And so a good example of this is looking at the Germany after World War II. What Germany did is they say we are never going to repeat this again, and what they do is they reinforce teaching the Holocaust. They reinforce, look, this is what happened. We end up killing all these people, and they have all these memorials to remember the evils that they had committed during the World War II. And so in the United States, we never did that. We
So
never
you're telling me
reinforced the
that like in
idea.
Germany there's not even a trace of it? It's like nobody there's no like trucks with like that
It's
bumper
illegal.
sticker that says gas, grass, or ass and like a Confederate flag next to it. Like there's no or I
Mm,
guess like SS bolts or something. There's none of that.
No, they made it illegal.
Wow.
So if you do the Nazi salute, you get arrested.
Wow, how about that? They should
So,
arrest people for like yeah for putting those like Confederate flags on stuff and all
oh,
that. Like,
yes.
that should be that, I think
Also,
that's reasonable.
is this true? Do Germans pay a tax for the Holocaust?
I don't know. I've not heard of that before.
I will look that
So
up.
I'm
Let's
not
fact
sure.
check.
Because I did I, the victims of the horrific act of the Holocaust, I thought they received like reparations, and I thought that tax came from Germany.
I
So
I'm
I
not. I
actually have this. Let me for everyone watching, I'll just kind of like run everyone through it real quick.
Mhm.
Holocaust restitution payments, money paid by governments of mainly Germany and Austria to partly compensate victims persecuted by Nazi Germany or its allies. So yeah, so for example, in 2019, the government of Germany paid over 80 billion to Jews in relief
Oh.
pensions as restitution. So yeah, this literally is them getting reparations. Must be nice. But anyway, Jazz, what do you? I'm
But
sorry.
I think the reparations is a product of them saying like, "Hey, this was our horrific past. This was our mistake," because that is something that the Confederate and Union or America as a whole seems to not want to do. Like, yo, that shit was back
Yes.
in the day.
So that is the thing, is convincing white America to do a reparation. That's not going to happen. Unfortunately, that is the situation. And so the question becomes, what exactly can the black community do to get these reparations? And
Maybe like fuck.
the way
Oh,
the,
I know, right? We doubled down. Well, see, that,
the thing.
He was almost done his point. He was almost done his point.
Yes. So I think the way that black community can get the reparations is through a universal programs, because it's very hard for anybody to disagree with a universal program. So what do I mean by this? A universal healthcare. If everybody get healthcare, it's going to be very hard for white people to say, I don't think that is right. And so if the black community doing it, we want a universal healthcare, it becomes very hard for white America to say, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
great point, and Jed, I gotta say, I'm like stunned at like how much you are. I mean, you gotta figure it out. I mean, this is literally what's been going on. I was gonna point out this observation that I made too. I remember people, and it was even some people on the left that I knew, but people mainly on the right in America. This guy ran for president last election cycle. His name was Andrew Yang, and he said for why his biggest campaign promise was that he was going to give everyone a stimulus month after month. You were going to get money. You were going to get the money every month, get paid, cash out. It wasn't even going to be like some.
Twitter was loving him.
Right, for real. They were like, "Oh, the Asian dude, let's go." People were putting on the hats, like didn't even know who he was. Like, oh, whoever's got the money, fuck it, let's do it. But yeah, and that was the thing. It was like and that was his whole campaign promise. It was going to be UBI, Universal Basic Income. Like I said, it was going to be, I believe, $1,200 every month.
Countries do that, right?
It
That's right.
was $1,000.
We talked about this on a prior episode. I believe the Netherlands did a trial of it, and it actually improved standard of living, increased the GDP. Alaska has been doing it for years.
Really?
Yeah. Alaska has they have it kind of set up where it's not the government paying you, but it's oil companies. Oil companies, they need to do. They want to
because they're like, yo, we fuck the resources of this land.
Right.
Break you off.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we're gonna ruin the view of this valley with this like oil thing, but you can get that PS5 though, and like everyone's like, "Yo, I'm trying to play Spider-Man," and they took the deal, and honestly, it's working out for them. People in Alaska have not had this like uprising and taken it away. They're all comfortable with it. So there you have it, folks.
Alaska is never trending on Twitter.
Exactly. we heard about this one crazy thing in Alaska, but outside of that, that story we ran on a prior episode where the mayor of Anchorage had an affair, and then his nudes got posted on the timeline, and that was, I mean, it's outside of that.
And then he was like, "Fuck it, I'm in Alaska, baby."
Exactly. That's how we do, baby. Anchorage, baby, A-Town. Like, he was like banging Anchorage, and like, cause he was like, the jig is up. Everyone knows I'm a freak, so let me just own it. But getting back to my point, cause I just veered off again. But I feel like I don't even remember what I was talking about. What was I talking about?
Jazz, you was about to say something, right?
Yes. So I was going to say, going back to the point of how can black community get the reparations.
Yeah.
Remember, first one is a universal healthcare, of course.
Okay.
The second one would be universal education, going to university. And so that way, regardless of where you are from, rich, poor, black, white, everyone gets university education. And basically the point is
we got
through
plan.
Yo, I think Green Bay 69 actually said something similar, because when I asked him about whether or not, actually, you know what, I'm mistaken. I was giving Green Bay 69 some Jazz Tarkey credit.
Right.
On a previous episode, I asked Jazz how he felt about anarchy versus hierarchy, and he explained that you should have anarchy with the education system, but hierarchy with other things is okay because you need people who know what they're talking about to do what they're talking about. But everybody should have the same advantages to learn, or the same opportunities to learn something.
Agreed.
Yes, education is typically referred to as the great, equalizer. And the thing is for every dollar that we spend in education, it comes back to us 7 to 8 times. So $1 becomes $7 or $8 because we educate the citizen. So likewise, if you are giving the free universal education, the free healthcare, the free UBI, universal basic income, these act as
Mom, Jazz said I'm not wasting my money on audiobooks, okay? It's education and it's gonna work out.
Yes, and so
address my mother. Mom, first of all, my books aren't stupid. They're a hustler's dream, and I'm gonna be a hustler. So what? You shouldn't have grounded me and taken away my Wii and my DS just because I failed that chemistry test. Jess said education is a great equalizer, but I mean that didn't change the fact that I got into college. So honestly, you shouldn't have grounded me for that. And I wanted to hang out with Austin and Caleb, and like I literally had to just sit in my room and like read a book or something, like, which was so lame. Like, Mom, if you're watching right now, next time you call, I'm just letting it go to voicemail. I'm sorry. This we've been talking about injustice on Protest Party TV. I should not have been grounded that one time, and that I'm gonna add that to the list of injustices. What do you think about switching gears a little bit, Jazz? I'm gonna bring up another situation because I want to hear your perspective on another country's kind of like turmoil that they're going through. The Israel-Palestine conflict is nowhere near being resolved. Those two countries are still going at it. So let me ask you this: Are you Muslim? How do you? What's your like religion? How do you identify?
I am Sikh.
Oh, you're Sikh. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
So can you tell everyone like kind of like what that's about and everything, in case anyone
So
doesn't know?
Sikhism, we believe in one universal God, and the teaching is it doesn't matter what God you believe in, whether you are Muslim, Christian, Jew. Fundamentally, we as human beings all believe in the same God. And so this is the same God no matter what. And every single person is equal. And the way that we show this equality is when we go to a church, everybody sit on the ground. Whether you are rich, poor, whoever, it is to show that we are all equal by sitting, on the ground, on the ground. And there is a story of a king Muslim king who come to one of the churches, and him, just like everybody else, had to sit on the ground to show that, it doesn't matter who you are.
That's what's
you
up.
know,
I love that so much.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I was
And
gonna add
the
too,
main
like,
tenet or the yes.
okay.
So I just want to say this one thing. Well, it's on my mind.
Because here's the thing.
Is
It's like we resolved this conflict right just now so civilly, but it's like some people will be like trying to kill each other off of that stuff. Like again, going back to speaking of which, the Israel-Palestine conflict, the largest bank in Israel, Bank Hapoalim, just pleaded guilty to helping U.S. customers evade taxes by transferring money to offshore accounts, as well as let me also say this real quick. We're gonna do our lightning round in 5 minutes, but basically I want to bring up this last point just so we can close this out and also say, thanks so much for showing up, Jazz. We really appreciate it. But so the last topic I want to talk about is this Israel-Palestine conflict. Latest development is the largest bank in Israel just like pled guilty to helping U.S. customers evade taxes by transferring money to these offshore accounts and committing the act of laundering money. Honestly, I feel like Palestinians hear stories like this and are like, yo! Like they'll be like calling their buddies like, yo, you will not believe this shit. Like all the women are probably like, right, exactly. They're like, sis, hold on, I got another call coming in. Sis, like they got beef, like so what is your take on this conflict as a whole? Or let me ask you, like, you don't have to say you're taking a side. I don't know who's around you and how they feel about it, but do you feel like one side is more wrong than the other, possibly, in light of these news?
So definitely Israel is in the wrong, much more than Palestine. And
okay, share your perspective. Why do you think that is?
Because Israel, they have all the power. They are the ones in power, and because they are in power, they have more responsibility to be responsible. And yet Israel, they keep doing more and more occupation. They are stealing more and more land. They are doing the more occupation. They're forcing people away from where they are living, and they are effectively keeping the Palestinian people in an open air jail. Damn. If that makes sense.
Damn.
And because of that, that is why. But yes, and so that is why I support the BDS movement. The BDS movement is to boycott Israel, divestments from Israel, and putting sanctions on Israel for not giving the Palestinian people their right to their land. And I think that the borders need to go back to the 1940 agreement, 1940 agreement of how the land is divided. Because after the agreement, what ended up happening is because Israel has a support from America, Israel feel it's okay to take the land, keep taking the land. They keep inching and inching and inching. It's illegal settlements. That's what they call them.
Let me say this too, Jazz, real quick. Like I honestly, I really appreciate you shedding light on this. Honestly, I agree with your standpoint. Not because any of that political stuff, not because of the political stuff, but you know, growing up down the street from me, there's this girl named Tamara. She was so bad, bro. Oh, she was so bad, and she was Palestinian. So I mean, I gotta side with Palestine on this one.
Renaissance Quasar said Palestinian rights are human rights and free Palestine. So we shout out to Renaissance Quasar in the chat.
Appreciate it.
Also,
baby.
if you're drinking Renaissance Quasar, let us know what you're drinking. Shout out to that.
Or if you're in AA, keep drinking that water. I'm drinking it tonight because I started a different antidepressant and that shit got me fucked up. Real quick, I also want to shout out Trump Queen 2020 making a return. She was literally, she like manifested. She like appeared. Like, do you see like the chat? Like, and like there was no Trump Queen, and then someone like shouted her out, and then like she logged in and saw that and was like, "Yo, I'm here."
Hey, read Renaissance Quasar's last comment. They are drinking.
Damn, hell yeah.
They got valid points of view and drink.
Hell yeah. Hey, that sounds like a good kind of person to me.
They said Israel is an apartheid state.
Ooh.
And the Palestinian people deserve their land back, and they're drinking vodka. So you know, I don't know if those two mix, but
going back to the Sikhism, I just wanted to say one story, share a story about it. Is okay?
Yeah, as long as it's under a minute, we got lightning round.
Yes, okay, it's no problem. So the guru or main guru, he come out of the river, and this was after he disappeared for like 3 days. He come out the river, and the first thing he said, which is the main tenet of our religion, is the thing he said is there is no Muslim, there is no Hindu, there is only man, and that is the core principle of of our religion. Because there is, you know, before you are Christian, before you are American, before you are whatever, you are human. And so that is the core philosophy of Sikhism, is that we are all human beings regardless of what we believe.
That's right.
And
so, if you could answer this real quick,
yes, that's
what is
I
dividing the other side from Sikhism?
What do you mean? I don't.
For an idiot like me, what are they fighting over? Or is one country just bullying the other?
Oh, he's saying like what's the conflict in this area that they live in about?
It's not a religious conflict. It's conflict over a piece of land called Kashmir.
Land conflict.
That is the main conflict, because Pakistan saying Kashmir is ours, India saying no, Kashmir is ours, and you know they fighting over that. It's not a religious problem, although the countries, the reason why they divided is because of religious problems, because Muslims not get along with pretty much, if that makes sense.
Damn, that makes perfect sense because we have a lot of those same divisions here in America. But yo, real quick, Jazz, you were the best, bro. Thank you so much for showing up. Jazz Tarky, y'all follow him on Instagram. Jazz, if you wanna, I don't know if you got the stream pulled up, you wanna like throw your Instagram handle in there or your Cash App if someone out there also wants to help support you, get out the word about Palestine. Bro, I gotta say, like, I love that. You know, we were relating to each other's experiences and all that. You know, you one of us being in a war-torn shithole and you being in the Kashmir region over there in the Middle East. Yo, really appreciate it, Jazz, and thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much. And if you want to follow me, it's just Jazz Turkey everywhere. You know, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. It's just Jazz Turkey. It's very easy. So thank you very much for having me. I must go to the graveyard shift. And so if you watch my TikToks, you know exactly what I do. So
hell yeah, man.
thank you very
Check
much.
him out on Jazz Tarky. Check him out on TikTok. You figure out what's going on. Graveyard shift. That could be anything. It could be literal graveyard. He could be working a late shift at a restaurant. He could be in the mob and or doing some sort of like violent type shit. Who knows what it is, man? Who knows what it is? I know we said we were gonna go on break, but fuck it, we're not going on break. We're
I
gonna do
must
lightning
leave,
round
though.
right now. Y'all stay with us. So this is lightning round, and for those of y'all who are new, shout out everyone who's new, everyone who's returning. But basically, for lightning round, you can just post whatever you want in the chat, and we will talk about it. You got the wheel right now, and if you want us to talk about some crazy shit, just fucking we'll do that. If you want us to talk about airplanes, we'll talk about that. If you want us to talk about conspiracy theories, you want us to talk about James Harden literally overshadowing like an episode of civil unrest in a major American city. Yeah, fucking. Because I'll tell you this, he really highlighted the unrest in the Orlando Magic defense because there was no way they could contain them. I mean, Sean, they were out there talking about Black Lives Matter, but just for the Orlando Magic players who were getting dunked on by James Harden. I mean, this is insane. I just hate seeing black men getting crossed up. It's traumatizing because I was once a young black man getting crossed up every day on the court. And
Resident Quasar is giving it to us in the chat.
Damn.
Palestinian and black liberation, as well as Native American liberation, must lead the anti-capitalist movement so that reparations can be awarded to themselves.
You saying we taking
so
over?
We have to be. It to me, it sounds like you're saying in a very educated, nice way that, like, look, we're on the brink of a civil war again, and pick your side, because if you want some changes, you're gonna have to fight for them.
Right.
And that's a radical ass idea. But here on Protest Party TV, we give radical ass ideas.
That's right, and we accept them too. We've had people on here who probably, if they were here right now, they'd be saying like, "Oh, free Israel." They would be trying to like.
We get into this all the time, though, John. I tell you why I'm afraid. Because if it really comes down to a civil war, bruh, they own the grocery stores. They own the petrol, the gasoline. They own the gun stores.
Oh, man.
The ammunition. And I'm not talking about, I can go to Ray Ray's trunk and get a new clip for my Glock. No, that's not nothing.
Right.
Your handgun ain't what if you don't have the initials AR in front of your gun,
the cops have something bigger. Is what's gonna happen. And that's the thing too. Yes, I mean, look at the military. Like all it's mostly white, and like this isn't even like a hypothetical.
Our best chance is the black people in the military gotta say, oh no, they're saying I wouldn't say civil war, just that mass solidarity led by black leaders and indigenous people, so that the workers can rise up and. John, I think I said this before.
I like
that
it.
We need to be separated.
Ooh.
We need to have our own grocery stores, our own fucking banks, our own fucking whorehouses. But we already got those.
Yeah, buddy.
But we gotta have our own, and in order to sacrifice, because how most of black people get their millions is by crossing over, by being granted into white society. Like, okay, we'll make you partner at this firm so that you can be the only black partner with all the other white ones, so that you can make a decent living, or we'll make you, we'll upgrade you, but your class is, exactly, class traders. It's like, I want to be part of the elite, so I want to make sure I'm good instead of sacrificing me being good for the many. But I do agree that it'll be our lifetime that'll struggle, but our grandkids and great grandkids will be the beneficiaries, because they'll be the ones who will have their own hospitals or have their own fucking government, which is the goal.
Yeah, right. And so that's really interesting, because I wanted to ask you this, Sean, because you've done a lot of thinking about this, and we've actually talked about this very topic on the show. Will black people be better off? I'm trying to remember who said this quote. It might have been Malcolm X or Fred Hampton, but they're saying like, there's no way for us to truly prosper in a situation designed to stop us from prospering. This is a country that up until like a second ago was saying.
It sounds Malcolm X. The system was not designed.
That's right. That's right. It's definitely, because I remember him saying, we didn't hit Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock hit us. And so on that note, like because I was gonna bring this up too. Like I saw this page on Instagram that was advertised to me. It was called Bank Greenwoods. These Killer Mike was like on the project, or he was helping advertise it, endorsing it, whatever. But it was a they were pitching like this is a bank and it's just black owned, and now you can keep your dollars within the black community. You don't have to like worry about like banking. Like I bank with Capital One, and I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if I turn on the news and they're like, "Oh, Capital One hosts baby kicking contest. Like, let's see who can punt that little bitch down a football field." I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't, because that's literally the standard that those companies that you were referring to have created. Those companies are so corrupt and have shown that they don't care about black people. They look at how the medical industry has treated us. Look at how I mean, literally, like we're out here like joining these sports teams. And then, Gregory said,
wow,
we sound racist.
No, but if me personally, I may sound dividing or divisive, but Resident Quasar seems to agree with what Jazz was talking about, like through socialism and through programs that affect everybody, people will be like, well, I guess it is good for the greater good, like free healthcare or something like that. But Resident Quasar said no more landlords. Right. What does that mean? Get it how you live? Like if you got a shotgun, you own this property? I don't know. We need a little bit of regulation, right? I would say.
So tie that in with what Gregory is saying, like Gregory says, why can't we get along together? Well, my answer to that is like, what we're talking about.
We're not the ones not getting along,
right? Yeah, we're trying to live.
That's like saying to the person getting bullied, "Hey, why aren't you just nice to him?
Right.
He's kicking your ass. Why don't you just be his friend?" I'm like, because he has trauma at home.
Oh, well, if you're just nice to the bully, then they'll stop bullying you.
Damn, Resident Quasar said no one owns the land.
Damn,
all land
bro.
is for all.
No property. Damn, that's radical right there. I seldom have heard.
Listen, I'm gonna show this show to my landlord and be like, hey,
look.
All land is for all. Yeah. So I'm sleeping in this twin bed tonight.
Okay, and they'll be like, "Oh, where's rent, Jonathan? Class trader. Hello, you're a class trader. Fucking stop." Yeah, I'll be like, "No one owns land," and join a tenant union. Honestly, that's a great idea, tenant union. But anyway, yeah. So to finish what I was saying.
What's that, like JV for a homeowners association?
Honestly, it's like a homeowners association where like people because I feel like homeowners association is not democratic. It's like whichever like old like
that's
bad
a private society, right?
That it is.
Group, right?
And exactly. And the problem with them is that the way they're set up, it's like old baddie like white women are. Oh, I sound racist. Sorry, Gregory. But like it's for most America. Is that
no? You're a compliment. They were old baddies. They were cougars.
Yeah,
they were
right. I was saying BATTY, telling them they were crazy.
Your landlord isn't a class trader because they own the land. And they profit off your suffering.
So he's not like a complex like factor. He's just an asshole. I agree. I think they all are. Even if Resident Quasar wasn't here, and even if socialism wasn't giving up all land ownership, tenant union, none of that stuff on the table. Landlords are the worst people on earth. They will like scuff the wall and then be like, "All right, sorry, but it looks like to repair this, I'm gonna need $2,000. So your deposit's gone." And if there's any landlords on the show right now, usually I tell people, "Yo, follow, get in the chat." But I think y'all should just like move to another country and go like fuck with somebody else's life. Fuck you, Jose, the landlord for my sister and my brother-in-law when they left LA. I usually don't wish anything bad on anyone, but I really hope you trip and fall and don't get up. We're about to get banned on Twitch, so let's change gears, Sean.
Hold on. If you're a landlord, make like the police and get the fuck out.
Damn, bro. Yeah, Gregory Ammon, bro. He's banging on y'all conservative sensibilities, man. Like, I gotta be honest, man. Like, okay. Do you agree with on what? Because I'm gonna ask you this. What level do you agree with this? Like, so for me, from my point of view, I believe that landlords need to be they at least at minimum in my mind they need to have at least like way less power. Like there should be like tenant unions, yes, and there should be and those tenant unions should have the power. I don't mean like the power to make rent $0. I mean, okay, no, I'm just I do want that. I take that back. That would be fucking dope. But because I mean, like, why am I paying the building to live there? What does the building need to like get a car soon or like put his kid through college? Anyway, my point is that I feel like landlords need to have less power, and we need to have more power in the hands of the people renting. Also, I think that the police should be defunded. I think that the police, I know a lot of people have said the police need to be ended, which I think is, it might be a little. I see why they say that, but it might be a little radical. But my point of view is like they need to be demilitarized and defunded.
When you say defunded, that eventually, if you don't have funding, won't that end the police?
So have you ever heard the phrase, the schools are getting defunded, or the school district got defunded?
No, that's why I'm asking you to explain it to me.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so speaking of defund, the police are beating the shit out of somebody in the left side of your screen.
Brooklyn, it turned up, bro.
Oh, they went
it
crazy.
Was like, James Harden, huh? I got some Harden for you.
I got some hard punching. Oh, you want to get posterized? Okay. But see, and that's so.
God damn, it is going. Oh, they're going down in Brooklyn.
Damn, they're running up on them. So, and this is what I'm talking about. So, like,
yo, what is pulling the phone out gonna do? You just record. There's a camera already on you.
They're recording the ass kicking.
And look at Washington D.C. Peaceful than a motherfucker.
They had their Starbucks. They had their weed. See, this is the difference. See,
they getting pressed in Vegas too. So yeah, right. 16.
Oh, I mean, it could be lower, but I'm just saying, like, that's probably what they're fucking saying right there. But what's
Renaissance Quasar talking now?
So to finish my point, this ties into what Resident Quasar is talking about. But so it's like when I say the police need to at least be defunded and demilitarized. So the phrase defunding, it's okay that you were like, oh, does that mean they lose all their funding? Because that's what I think. That's what a large, at least a plurality of Americans are thinking. Like a lot of people have been like, defund the police. Who's going to protect us? It's a very common misconception that people might have. But the phrase defund the police just means reduce their funding and reroute it to programs that will help people and that will keep them out of poverty and will make it so we don't need to live in such an overly militarized
okay. You're not just taking the money.
That's right.
And leaving it nowhere. You're taking the money and putting it somewhere else to help the police be better police.
Exactly. And the police are still allowed to exist. The police can still, not stop at the stop sign, but then ticket people for not stopping at the stop sign. And, as they do, they're free to continue doing that. They're free to continue, Florida and their Dodge Chargers and then like giving people tickets for reckless driving. They're free to do that. But the thing is that they will just.
How do you feel about the idea of the opposite end of the spectrum? The same way we say, we should pay teachers more because they're the most important and they are guiding our youth. If we paid teachers more, the best people would go out of their way to be teachers. Do you feel that about police, or do you think paying police more would ultimately just get more shitty people in there?
I think it would. I think that it would make it so that more people who are again like more in it for the money, because we already have a problem with police who are in the force for the wrong reason. And I think that the money incentive, thinking about the kind of people that are just motivated by money, I think that might wind up, we would have even more people who are kind of sociopathic in nature, more people who are kind of like, oh, I can like make a buck, and they're just because think about it, like on their minds, they're gonna be thinking more about like, let me keep making a buck and not about let me be fair to these people. I can tell you for sure that
would do you feel the same way about teachers?
But see, because here's the thing, I feel like with teaching is kind of and honestly that's like a great. I'm glad you asked that. That's a great point, because even though I think there's some bad apples with teaching, I think when teaching usually goes wrong, it's less drastic than when the police situation. The police it's like more dire. Like the police are the line between civilization and anarchy.
If teachers go right, the police won't go wrong.
Yeah, I think that if teachers make more, because here's the reason why we say teachers should make more is because they're all struggling. Like it's like the police are not having like an epidemic of they make good money and then they make time and a half on top of that. That's why a lot of the time people get bullshit traffic tickets late at night. The cop is if he sits in the car for an hour. Have you ever been pulled over like a bunch? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so notice how the cops
look, I don't know if you see.
I don't want to assume. But the reason why the cops, he sits in the car writing the ticket for an hour. It's just one sheet of paper. He's like writing for an hour. He's biding his
Oh,
time.
we got a request in the chat.
Uh-oh.
It said, talk about community oversight of
the
police. Make the police answer to the community they supposedly protect.
How about it?
Okay. Now I want your view on this because I really feel like this is important. The whatever community you decide to police, if you decide you want to be a police officer, I feel like you should have to either live or have grown up in that community. So you're familiar with how to treat this bum on the corner or at the gas station because you grew up seeing him be a bum at the corner on the gas station, or you're familiar how to treat the kids just throwing toilet paper and eggs at a house because you remember your friends being dumbass little kids. Like you're familiar with this environment. You're not like, oh shit, I don't know what these animals are doing, so I got to put out my gun. I think that's something that could eventually that could be a checks and balances for police officers because their moral conscience will kick in. Like, yo, I know this guy. I'm gonna kill my neighbor's son. I'm gonna kill fucking Lil Leroy's kid or something like that. Like, you know, I think that could. And what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with that based on personal experience. You know, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and we have problems with a lot of people think that like, oh, the cops are just like nice, you know, good old boys who are just trying to like help out and all that. These guys, they
just the good old boys.
They're not good old boys. They let me explain what I mean. So they so often are not from these urban communities that they're policing. A lot of the guys that police in South Atlanta or other parts of Atlanta or East Atlanta maybe, they come from below Atlanta. Outside of Atlanta, it gets wider and wider the further away from the city you get. They might be driving up from Griffin County. They might be driving down from Cobb County or an area further up north. And North Georgia is a white flat area that has a lot of problems with people who have these like backwards.
So you got this center ass core of Atlanta black,
right?
And then the further it gets away, it's like okay, it's more mixed.
Yeah, like
but all these mixed and white people come into this core to be like, okay, we want to be the authorities here.
Right, exactly. And so it's like, and like you said, they're not from these communities that they're policing, and they're not, they might they all the time. It's like situations get misinterpreted, and people aren't used to how people don't understand why someone might be like, no, I'm not gonna get out of my car right now, and they're like, that's an order, and it's like, well, I've seen the video, like let's check the tape. Let's check the instant replay and see what happens with black people.
The only thing is though, when you check the instant replay, there's a nigga getting shot.
You're right,
so
right, right.
It's not like when you throw a flag in football, you can overturn the call.
Right, you can't overturn the joke.
Once he's fucking, I can't breathe.
I take it back. You can't pull the Uno reverse card.
You can't after further review that shit.
like there's no like Thanos like time stone where you can like reverse the shooting. It happened, and so that's the fucking thing is, and that's my point exactly. Is like. Like so many people are bent on acting like this is not occurring. Like so many people, they do all of these like backflips and mental somersaults. ADC 120 said white people are moving back to the city of Atlanta now. That is true. A lot of them are like, oh, okay, I guess racism is all right. I guess I'll take that away.
But because we finally got it popping and made it thrive, and they're like, oh, shit is going back here.
Like, oh, time to raise the rent in urban communities. But and so the thing is that
the last time Atlanta was popping, the Olympics were there.
And more importantly, I was born. 1996, a great time for Atlanta. And so this is the crazy thing is that, and so let me, in case President Quasar isn't satisfied with what I was saying, let me just like round this out because he offered this topic. He was saying, talking about community oversight of police, and then he should abolish police, replace it with a new policing structure that serves the actual people, not the state and capital. Honestly, like for all our viewers who might be thinking that sounds radical or crazy, I've read some stuff that I think might shed a little light on his point of view. So if you think that that's like kind of out there, listen to this. So there's an article that was going around, written in Medium last year. The guy obviously had to go anonymous because like a lot of the times in America, when cops try to shine a light on abuse in police departments, they get attacked by other cops, and they get hate mail and dead rats put on their car and threats. And so anyway, so the thing is that basically what he was writing about when he was a cop in San Francisco, he said that mean, like, you know, so much of what they did was abusive, and he was so ashamed of it. And he said that he never wanted that. He said he didn't join the force for that. He was saying that get a load of this. They over there, like he said that like oftentimes it was like they would be like, oh, okay, like the city council or somebody said, or like, you know, we're gonna, everybody who has like a shopping cart full of stuff, like a homeless person, we are gonna take away, like they were just like taking away people's shopping carts full of the little things they had. He said a lot of cops, they would kind of make it a game. They would tip over their shop. They were like, or like, you know, when it wasn't required, they would like just, you know, kick down their shopping carts. Yeah, these homeless people. And the other heinous act that they talked about that I wanted to highlight was, he said that they had this one like writer on a bill or something. It was this one it was one law that was like about you can't sleep on the ground within a certain radius of like a train yard or something. It was something like that. And he said that like cops, they would be like you'd be sitting around like, oh, I got 3 today, I got 4 today. Damn. And it's like, yo, like this is just like, it's like these people are already homeless. How are you gonna kick them out? They're in their house. Like their house is just earth. This is just they're homeless. You're gonna kick them out of, like, they're sleeping too close to a rail yard.
All land is everybody's land.
There is, so maybe this is what Resident Quasar is talking about. How
it is going down in Brooklyn,
isn't it? Yeah, it sucks that we have to like close so soon, because it's like, damn, man, these people are going. And so you know, in light of that, and you know, it's like so think about this, because earlier we talked about companies that were abusive to the people of this country or abusive to Black people. I remember when you know, the 2008 financial crisis happened, and it was just so crippling. Those guys, the people that orchestrate those executives, you know, all those people working on Wall Street who enabled that crisis, they didn't get any repercussions. It's like Eric Garner was selling loose cigarettes, and 6 of them ganged up on him and killed him and publicly executed him. And you know, these rich, because you know, class is very important to mention it. These rich old white guys like destroyed everybody's savings in the country and like caused this huge recession. Like a lot of people killed themselves in that financial crisis. And so I'm looking at it like, when has a cop ever been like, oh, well, let me go beat that guy up? When has a cop ever had a chip on his shoulder about you know, somebody who is rich who is abusing someone? I can't think of a single instance, and I don't think anyone could. I don't think anyone could name one. I don't think there has been one. You know, when celebrities are abusive, when you know, these like rich people.
That's some homework for them, something to think about.
There you go.
While you're at home, waiting for the next episode of Politics as Usual.
That's right, baby. Yeah. Hey, you might see us behead a rich person on the next episode. Resident Quasar will be a guest. He'll be like, hey, yo, Jeff Bezos.
Let's get some.
I'm at your hood right now.
Let's get some financial backing before we get into the before we get into the stunts.
Well, here's the deal. We'll let y'all know. We'll be safe. Don't worry about us. Our guest Jazz Tarky. He's from the Kashmir region. They have plenty of guns and stuff over there. We'll stock up, and in case 12 comes around, we'll let them know how we feel. Anyway, for if like, you know, anyone reports us to Twitch, don't, like, that wasn't a serious threat. Anyway, yeah, this has been our first episode of Politics as Usual in 2021. Thank y'all so much for joining. We appreciate y'all so much. Shout out to our guest Jazz Tarky. Follow him on.
Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Everybody, man. Everybody. So real quick, I want to say this too. We are on Instagram. Look us up. Me and Sean as individuals. He's Shawnee Matt Comedy.
Shawnee Matt Comedy.
Shawnee Matt Comedy. I'm at Jonathan K. Hollis. You can't spell my name, that's fine. And then our show has its own page, and so does protestparty.tv. Follow, like, subscribe, come back, and yeah, we'll talk some more shit with y'all later, man. Peace.
Voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you. If you remain in the roadway and refuse to use the subject to arrest.
Okay, guys, no one is in the roadway. Everyone is on the sidewalks, and they have the roadway blocked. So the only ones blocking the roadway are actually the NYPD.
Look at you! You like your job? You like your job?
So the two directly in front are NYPD legal, the ones on site. So just so you guys know. And one just walked in, making a so they're looking for someone right now. Of course, legal, the one guy with the skull cap on, he's looking specifically for someone. Well, I will say, this is good prep for Washington, considering I'm going to be down there. It's like, this works out perfect. Remember, this is all on the sidewalk. There's no reason for them to be out here on the sidewalk.
Everyone move together! Move together! Move together! Let's go!
Why don't you listen? You should be in a group, together.
Be water! Be water!
Guys, unify! You got the
Be water!
We are moving out. We are moving out. Everybody come to this side of the driveway. Come to this side of the driveway.
So, another thing to keep in mind, don't say anything you wouldn't want out there in public, because again, like I said, NYPD does. Here you go. Here you go.
Everybody on this side of the driveway, please. There we go.
I would say it's like last week there was a protest actually about two people who had been shot, right? They were marching down here, about 450. One of the cops there stood out there with his gun in his hand on a peaceful protest.
I understand.
It's the same shit, you know, new day, but you guys have lived long enough, you know.
But guess what? I got the time today. I got it.
Okay, guys, just so you know, on the 19th, I'm going to be in D.C. no matter what. I'm going to try and get down on the 17th in D.C. Everything's on lockdown. I'm all set with Media Pass. I'm not going to be at the inauguration. That just ain't happening. And I probably could have if I had arranged it with a couple of people ahead of time, but I don't sit through ceremonies very well. So anything going on in D.C., at least the 19th and the 20th, I'll be covering. Hopefully I'll cover anything that's going on beforehand. And what I'm getting over the media request feeds is that there's a shit ton of stuff happening in every state capital, so everyone be safe out there. Shit's gonna hit the fan. I think whatever's going to happen in D.C. is going to make this looks like it was, you know, playing in a sandbox. So, for me, I'm not worried about it. And this is actually tame compared to a lot of the other stuff that I ended up going through in New York.
How did you guys even get through the basic training with
So you still have all of these guys on the sidewalk. And they're basically blocking an inactive driveway. Rule 1. If you're going by a driveway that doesn't have an exit, do not go into it. Do not allow them to bait you into it. You never want to be in a place where you have no exit. Guys, learn or don't learn. I can just only provide the advice. And the advice is only because I've been in the situations. Okay, why is he still there? Okay, those are from the precinct are heading back in. The precinct commander and stuff are making their decisions over there. Anyone with the right numbers and influence that can go ahead and call whoever the commander is on the ground, which I'm assuming is Delgado, ask them why are they still have officers on an inactive driveway on the sidewalk standing there. It's only helping to escalate the situation more and more. Or better yet. Okay, they're moving up towards something. So again, this is the driveway. So it sounds like these guys are moving out back. This group over here, this is the inactive driveway. They keep saying they want people on the sidewalk, but people are on the sidewalk and an inactive driveway, yet they wanted to put so much force in that driveway to protect it. It's sort of like, why would you even do that? I know that they were doing an arrest, but to have those officers still there, I mean, I don't know what's so important inside that one specific place. But it is about a show of force, which is specifically what they're doing. Well, you do know that a lot of law enforcement were caught up because they were stupid enough to get selfies, and they actually were involved in storming the Capitol. That's like National Guard who actually did it because they were off duty. The fact that they basically were treasonous to the Constitution and the oath they swore, God forbid if I come up with any of these motherfuckers that actually were involved in that, I will fucking destroy them. Those of you who do know me know that my family history goes back to when the Constitution was signed, which means I have a vested interest in this country regardless of what I disagree with. So if any of these motherfuckers broke their fucking oath and were involved in the Capitol, I will fucking make your life miserable. If you didn't go down there, more props to you. But if you did break that oath, I'll find out one way or another and laugh about it. So, this is the group. The bike cops up ahead. They're going to trail the group straight through it. Ah, News 12. I think that was the same crew that was out here a little while ago. They're on a time constraint, so they're got their initial footage. They're going to cut and push that out very quickly. And right now it's just to see how the escalation plays out. Let them go. They're going to run right into the cops. So. I figured if they can run into the cops, let them. Oh, man. I mean, yeah. Yeah, one of the NLGs asked about that first when they tried to do that arrest over by Barclays. And I told him to tell Susan, because Susan has my contact. So I'm definitely going to get that. And I got one over here, that first one, the cop pushed me and then grabbed me. So I got that. So at least two. I'm curious at how many. Basically, where is it? Flatbush Avenue. There's a line of vans, police cars, and then going up towards the center there. So the bike cops and others are still within the area. And Black Lives Matter illumination is still going on. And remember, I said there were still a shit ton of unmarked vehicles within the area, so there are still unmarked cars around. This is why people chant what they chant, is because of shit that just happened and all the millions of other things